is the National Football League on NBC. Today, from Busch Stadium in St. Louis, the Buffalo Bills against the St. Louis Cardinals. Today's game is brought to you by the new Chrysler Corporation. We don't want to be the biggest, we just want to be the best. By Michelob, one smooth and mellow taste tells you that some things speak for themselves. And by Wendy's, you want something better, you're Wendy's kind of people. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Bill Wilkerson with former Dallas All-Pro Harvey Martin. Harvey, I think we're safe in saying the ball will be in the air this afternoon.
Joe Ferguson for the Buffalo Bills, Neil Lomax for the St. Louis Cardinals. The ball can't help but be in the air. But it's defense that wins football games. And the St. Louis Cardinals are led by a defense that led the NFL in sacks, 57 last year. Big Bubba Baker is the strong one on that defensive line.
And for the Buffalo Bills, they have none other than Fred Smerlas, a four-time All-Pro. He's going to make life miserable for Neil Lomax unless Neil gets some good blocking this afternoon.
I think Neil Lomax will get some good blocking, especially from his big tackles, Lewis Sharp and Tootie Robbins.
And for the Buffalo Bills, they will be going with the rookie Greg Bell in place of Joe Cribbs, who's now in the USFL. Also without Joe Ferguson's two favorite receivers, Frank Lewis, who's retired, and also Jerry Butler, who is injured. What do you think will be the key this afternoon?
Well, last Sunday, both teams actually should have won their football games. I feel they both want to come out and have a good second game. I think it's a toss-up. Both teams want to win.
Well, we will see what happens here this afternoon as Joe Ferguson and the Buffalo Bills puts it up, and Neil Lomax and the Cardinals will put it up, and we expect a high-scoring football game. A lot of fun here this afternoon in St. Louis.
St. Louis Cardinals today with four-year linebacker E.J. Jr. out of Alabama. The middle linebacker, basically, but he's playing outside linebacker with the injury to Charlie Baker.
Well, E.J. is the heart and soul of this Cardinal defense, and outside, inside, he can play it. The Cardinals have won the toss, and they will receive. Both teams are 0-1 as Joe Danilo kicks it off, and we're underway. Coming down on the far side, that's Stump Mitchell. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 42-yard line for Stump Mitchell, and the Cardinals will start in very good field position. Well, Stump Mitchell, ever since he came out of the Citadel, and that tackle by Van Williams has been an integral part of the Cardinal return games. Just give him a small seam, and he can really take it quite a long ways. The injured player is Rod Hill, one of the reserve defensive backs, as they take a look at Rod's left ankle. Buffalo Bills don't have a great deal of experience in their secondary to begin with, and they can ill afford to lose a Rod Hill. So the Cardinals will have it 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line. Bill Wilkerson, Harvey Martin, as you look there at the Cardinal offensive set. Neil Lomax at quarterback, O.J. Anderson, the running back, fullback Earl Farrell replacing Wayne Morris. Tight end is Doug Marsh, wide receiver Roy Green, who has an injured ankle about 80% this afternoon. There's the offensive line, Sharp, Steve, Clark, Bostic, and Robbins. That's a good offensive line. They'll be going against a pretty tough Buffalo defense. And speaking of that Buffalo defense, Fred Smerlas, the man we talked about earlier, is in the middle, flanked by Ben Williams, the All-Pro, and Ken Johnson, the new man retiring, replacing retiring Sherman White. Sanford, Haslett, Marv, and Talley, that probably is the best group as far as the defensive players are concerned. That's a good linebacker group. There's the rookie, Rodney Bellinger. Neil Lomax, 1st and 10 from his own 42-yard line. The four-year man out of Portland State. They start out with a one-back set, O.J. Henderson, and he gets the football. And O.J. gets out to about the 47-yard line before Darrell Talley out of West Virginia can make the tackle. Darrell Talley, by the way, replaced Irvin Parker, who was waived by the Buffalo Bills. Don Lawrence is the new Buffalo defensive coordinator, replacing Bob Zeman, who went to the Raiders. Call it a gain of 5, 2nd and 5. At the Cardinal 47-yard line, just underway here at Busch. It has been raining, but the rain has stopped. They will go to split backs here on 2nd and 5. Now shift into the I. Farrell is the fullback. Lomax. Plenty of time. That's Anderson up near first down territory. Rather not Anderson, but Earl Farrell, the fullback. And we'll see where they mark him out of bounds. Close to a first down as Darrell Talley, the linebacker, makes the tackle. Neil
Lomax is dropping back. He's an excellent quarterback. He looks to his left, fakes to Anderson, and he throws over to Farrell. Farrell's taking over for the retired Wayne Morris. Puts a good move on here and tries to drive for the first down.
By the way, that tackle there by Darrell Talley, he is their best pass rusher, a very good football player. They'll leave the Cardinals third and about 1. That's Randy Love, the fullback, and he's got a first down and more. And Love all the way down to the Buffalo 37-yard line in the arms of John Wilson. John Wilson, the free agent out of North Carolina State, is a rookie. He, along with Rodney Bellinger, no doubt will be tested by the Cardinal offense.
All right, you see Rodney Love getting the ball here. St. Louis Cardinals just pinned in the whole left side, whole right side of Buffalo Bills defensive line. Love just drove for the first down.
Against that 34 defense, you'll see the Cardinals trying to get outside. First and 10 there at the Buffalo 37-yard line. The slot left is Roy Green. Lomax. That's Cedric Mack, and Mack gets close to and does have a first down. He is rodeoed out on the far side by Steve Freeman, the strong safety. But that's Cedric Mack, the converted defensive back, in much the same fashion as was Roy Green, who came over from strong safety and turned into an all-pro wide receiver.
Roy Green has an ankle injury. He fractured the ankle, Bill, in the summer playing basketball, and he came back in training camp and twisted it again. So he feels that it should be pretty good for him now, but practicing on the AstroTurf every day doesn't help it any.
Roy says he's about 80% for the ball game this afternoon. Cardinals looking at a 2nd and 1, and not getting the first down on a good hit as the Buffalo defense is Eugene Marr. He's a number 3 draft choice in 1982, comes up and prevents Farrell from getting the first down. Now they do get the first down. They mark it at the 25-yard line. Thought for a moment they had thrown him back outside, but the nose of the ball is sitting on the 25, and the Cardinal drive continues after the good return by Stump Mitchell to open this ball game up. Out of the I formation. Now they shift to strong left. Anderson and Farrell. That's Farrell. And Farrell is all the way down to the Buffalo 12-yard line. John Wilson again, the free safety had to make the tackle. Harvey, that looked like a trap up in the middle of that Buffalo defensive line.
Yeah, it looks like a trap. Farrell is a guy that Buffalo really didn't expect to get the football. They were keyed for O.J. Anderson, and Farrell goes straight up the middle. It's number 31 running with the ball. Makes good yardage. He's really had a burden placed on him with Wayne Morris retiring, but he's holding up his end of the ball game.
Wayne's brother had a serious illness in Dallas, and that's why Wayne Morris, one of the better blockers, did not return. First and 10 now at the Buffalo 14 as the Cardinal drive continues. Lomax at the controls. Somebody jumped offside. Looked as though Ken Johnson might have jumped offside. Let's see if he was drawn off. The official gives us illegal procedure both sides. Let's see if they're simply going to cancel it or they're going to talk about it. Now it's going to be against the Cardinals. Apparently one of the offensive linemen moved.
False start, 71 offense, first down.
There you see today's officials. Referee Tom Dooley, umpire Dave Hamilton, head linesman Ed Nurian, line judge Vern Marshall, back judge Bob Moore, side judge Dick Ferguson, and the field judge is Bob Lewis. As we take a look at the Cardinal sideline, Cardinals now looking at 1st and 15 from their own 19-yard line. Pat Tilley in the right slot. Lomax. Earl Farrell. And he cannot get away from the Buffalo defense, but does get back to about the 15-yard line on some great second effort. He got away from Darrell Talley initially and was able to get back to about the 15-yard line.
Earl Farrell is showing great vision right now. He sees a hole, he's running to his left, and you notice he rolls it back over the middle, and he's getting some good yards over there in the middle. I wonder what's happening to Fred Smurfs. He's got 3 carries today and 22 yards on his first drive.
Apparently Randy Clark, the center for the Cardinals, must be doing a good job on Fred Smurfs. Greg LaFleur now checks in as the Cardinals feature the one-back set with O.J. Anderson. It's 2nd and about 10. Lomax toward the end zone. Green off his fingertips. He was covered over there by the rookie Rodney Bellinger. That time Roy Green just faded into the end zone, and Rodney Bellinger had pretty good coverage, but it was almost caught by Green for a touchdown.
Last week against the New England Patriots, Bellinger was picked on a lot by Steve Grogan. Now I see Neil Lomax doing the same thing. I have to believe that Roy Green's ankle is bothering him just a little bit. That was so close, so close.
Yeah, when Green is healthy, he runs about a 4.340. Bellinger is not in that class, so he probably is going to need some help deep. Out of the shotgun as Cedric Mack checks in now on 3rd and 10 from the 14. Cardinals a bit disorganized on their 3rd down play. Lomax, here comes pressure. And it is caught down at about the 6-yard line by Pat Tilley. Good catch by Tilley as Don Wilson, the free safety, covered him. Let's see if they were ruling the catch or not. There is some discussion. They're going to put it down at the 6-yard line. Jim Hennepin looks on.
This is one of the reasons Neil Lomax is maturing into one of the good young quarterbacks in the NFL. He's right now sees the pressure coming from his right, rolls out of it, comes out from under it. He feels the guy behind him, and he still unloads the pass to Tilley. That's good quarterback.
Neil O'Donoghue, 1 out of 2 on the year. High snap. Terran does get it down. And O'Donoghue gets it through. So at 10-10 of the first quarter, Neil O'Donoghue, who has taken some heat from these Cardinal fans for missing one last week, gets it through, and the Cardinals lead by a score of 3-0. 10 plays, 44 yards. O'Donoghue, the 23-yard field goal, as you see number 11 there. O'Donoghue is a former Buffalo Bill, as is the Cardinal punter Carl Birdsong. So we have an ex-Buffalo kicking unit here. O'Donoghue gets some height on it. In the end zone, Wilson's coming out of there, and he's a good one. And does not get around the corner beyond the 13-yard line, where the Cardinals haul him down as Bill Kay, the recently signed free agent, hauls him down. As you see Don Wilson there, he won a job on this ball club with his return ability, and then suddenly, when they had some difficulties, he got the safety job. Ferguson, Moore, Bell the rookie, Hunter, Denard, and Franklin. Ken Jones, Richard, Grant, Borchardt, and Devlin. That's a small but very good offensive line for the Buffalo Bills. But the main man right there is Joe Ferguson. 1st and 10 from the Bills from their own 13-yard line. Booker Moore, and now Greg Bell. Strong to the left side. First down play. Ferguson wants to go up top. He goes deep. And it's too long for Byron Franklin. He was covered down there by Lionel Washington. There was some pushing and shoving toward the end, but apparently incidental to the play. Well, the Cardinals on defense, as you see, Lionel Washington, 8 interceptions last year. Bubba Baker, David Galloway, Mark Duda for Elo Grooms, who's injured, and Curtis Greer. 59 sacks this unit had last year. Charlie Baker, E.J. Jr., Bob Harris. As the Bills now look at 2nd and 10 from their own 13-yard line. Again, Bell offset to the left side. Ferguson gives it to Greg Bell. And Bell is going to be hauled down, going to lose about a yard. Leonard Smith, Bubba Baker, and Kurt Alleman getting in there. Bubba Baker, quite a story, because when he came here from Detroit, he was the sack king up there, but tell us something about why they moved Bubba over to the strong side and what difference that makes.
Well, Curtis Greer is playing the right side, which is the weak side defensive end. He's doing it very well. 16 sacks last year. Bubba Baker coming in as a sack leader, but a more experienced defensive lineman has moved to the strong side. Said he made 100 tackles last year. Hasn't made 100 tackles in 5 seasons with Detroit.
By the strong side, that means he is facing up the defensive end, the offensive end, and it's tougher to get sacks in that position. Out of the shotgun, 3rd and 11. Ferguson. And a good catch by Hunter. Tony Hunter, the 2nd-year man out of Notre Dame. But he's going to be shy of a first down at about the 22-yard line. Tony Hunter, along with Byron Franklin and Preston Denard, are the receivers for the Buffalo Bills. As you know, Frank Lewis retired. Jerry Butler is trying to recuperate from the knee injury, and the Cardinals have held on 4th down. As you look at Kay Stevenson, Kay was 8-8 last year. He likes this Buffalo Bills football club of '84, but he feels they're going to need some time for the young people to mature.
He also feels that his team should make a giant step forward today. Last week he was impressed with the way the team came back. This week he says he actually needs to step forward and for all his good players to come forward.
Well, John Kidd is one of those good players. He is the rookie out of Northwestern who replaced Greg Cater as the punter. He won the job with good hang time and good distance. He is going to punt it to a man who has had only one fair catch in his entire career. There is Kidd right there. And if it is returnable, Stump Mitchell will return it. 8:32 to go, first quarter. On a Neil O'Donoghue 23-yard field goal, the Cardinals lead Buffalo 3-0. Kidd gets a good snap. That's Stump Mitchell. At the 42, 50, 25, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20-yard line for Stump Mitchell, but a flag is down. Darryl Talley made the tackle. As I told you, if it is returnable, Stump Mitchell will return it. There he is, out of the Citadel. He is an officer in the Army Reserve.
Stump Mitchell goes straight up the middle on his 30-yard punt return. Stump Mitchell's turning into one of the best kick returners in the league.
He also is not a bad backup to O.J. Anderson either.
No, he's not. Last week, 4 carries, 22-yard average on each carry.
Buffalo Bills had an ineligible man downfield. The Cardinals decline it. They will get the ball at the Buffalo 20-yard line. And this is not the kind of situation that Case Stevenson wanted to get his defense into. As you see Jim Hennepin there, he leads here by a score of 3-0. Back in St. Louis, the Cardinals, after a 38-yard punt return by Stump Mitchell, have it 1st and 10 at the Buffalo 20-yard line. Neil Lomax at the controls. His club is leading by a score of 3-0. O.J. Anderson, the lone setback. Lomax, Green, pushed down at the 5-yard line. Roy Green in the arms of Rod Bellinger, a 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. Now to New York, NFL Update 84.
All right, Bill, as Neil Lomax tries to stretch that 3-0 lead in Cincinnati. The Chiefs have scored. This Anthony Hancock reception set up a 5-yard touchdown run by Theodis Brown. Chiefs lead Cincinnati by a score of 7-0. Say hello to Harvey Martin for us, will you?
We will indeed. Harvey now is trying to figure out how the Buffalo Bills can keep the Cardinals out of the end zone. On a 1st and goal at the Buffalo 4-yard line. The wing on the left side is the tight end Doug Marsh. Anderson is the lone setback. 1st and goal. End zone, Roy Green. Touchdown!
Roy Green, what a receiver. 78 receptions in 83. Here he just beats Bellinger right all over. Touchdown. Excellent receiver.
Well, Rodney Bellinger was picked on by New England last year, last week, and now Lomax does the same thing. Baptism under fire. Neil O'Donoghue missed an extra point last week, so these things are not automatic. Out of the hold of Benny Perrin. Nails this one through. And with 7:23 to go, the Cardinals now lead the Buffalo Bills by a score of 10-0. Neil Lomax, he's had quite a stretch of touchdown passes, Harvey. He is becoming finer by the moment.
I talked to Neil yesterday, and he said he had to throw one to keep his streak going.
He's got one. As O'Donoghue now. It's it high but returnable. Van Williams at the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And O'Donoghue has to haul him down, but he grabs him by the face mask, and flags go down. And the Buffalo Bills now will start with very good field position. They are going to tack on to where he went out of bounds.
Now, on specialty teams, when you're on the specialty teams, you want to make the team. That's O'Donoghue. They pay him to kick, not to tackle. That's why they pay him to kick.
He does not know how to tackle based on what we just saw there. Ironically, John Kidd, the Buffalo punter, one reason they like him so well is he's a very good tackler. But as we can see there, O'Donoghue, who was an excellent soccer player in Ireland,
Personal pass. Grasping the face mask. Defense.
We see it again, Bill. Look at this. Oh, well, that's one way to get your man down. There are rules against stuff like that, though.
So, the Cardinals here lead 10-0. Pennant race is coming up. Here's a preview. Buffalo Bills, 1st and 10 at the Cardinal 40-yard line. Good field position as Joe Ferguson tries to get his ball club into the end zone, trailing 10-0. Buccamore in motion back to the right side. That's Greg Bell. And Bell stumbles forward, but a flag goes down. Look at some scores from around the country. Bob Thomas, 38-yard field goal. Chicago leads Denver by a score of 3-0. It is Billy Sims' 9-yard run, and Detroit up on Atlanta by a score of 7-0. The Otis Brown 5-yard run. KC looking for win number 2, 7-0 over Cincinnati. Greg Bell has a huge pair of shoes to fill, Harvey, because Joe Cribbs was one of the very best in the National Football League.
Well, Greg Bell is #1 draft choice, an iffy draft choice, the way the Buffalo Bills talk about it. He was injured a lot at Notre Dame, and they really haven't seen a lot of him. They feel he has all the potential to do what a Joe Cribbs has done before, but being a rookie is kind of rough for him. He's trying to, last week...
Illegal motion, 34 offense, 1st down.
That was Buccamore illegally in motion as Case Stevens look on. You were talking about Greg Bell and that problem he had with injuries at Notre Dame. It was a fracture of his ankle. He has shown no signs of favoring that ankle so far, though.
Right, he's not favoring the ankle, but yet he still makes common rookie mistakes. Picking up the blitz. As you see, Joe Cribbs here last year, 1,131 yards. It's a big hole to fill for him. But I talked to him, and he's ready to go.
Van Williams checks in. Greg Bell checks out. It is 1st and 15. That's Tony Hunter in the arms of Leonard Smith. Now, one thing you might have noticed is that Joe Ferguson there sets up deeper in the shotgun than most quarterbacks. And by the way, Buffalo was the 2nd team to adopt the shotgun after the Dallas Cowboys.
Right, Joe drops back just a little bit farther. He sets up 12 yards deep, talking to the defensive ends for the St. Louis Cardinals. As we see, Detroit 17 and Atlanta nothing in the first quarter. They are going to widen out when Joe steps back that far and try to rush him, give him the old speed rush outside.
All right, Bills looking now at 2nd and 11 at the Cardinal 41-yard line. Moore and Williams are split. Ferguson gives it to Van Williams, looking for room to run. And he gets down to about the 35-yard line. Some other scores from around the National Football League. There is Jan Stenerud's 38-yard field goal, putting Les Steckel's Vikings out in front of Philadelphia by a score of 3-0. Put the ball down at the Cardinal 35-yard line. 5:55 to go, first quarter. It's the Cardinals 10, the Buffalo Bills nothing. Preston Denard wide to the right side, the former Ram. Byron Franklin wide to the left side. Out of the shotgun, Ferguson. And it is stopped by the rookie Mitchell Brookins. Mitchell tried to go downfield before he had the football.
I'll tell you what happened on that play. Very simple. Mitchell, being a rookie, went too close to the defensive line. If you can see him coming out, he's on the left side there, number 81. Watch him come in. Watch Curtis Greer. Boom. You see? I mean, he forgot everything. Man. He's still suffering from that lick. He dropped the ball. You don't run into big defensive linemen like that.
Now Joe Danello will try one. They'll put it down at the 42-yard line. That's going to be a 52-yard attempt. Now Danello has one in his career of 55 yards. Let's see if he can make one here. He's 1 out of 2 on the year from 27 yards away. It is blocked. Wayne Smith trying for the football. It's still rolling around. But the Joe Danello 52-yard field goal attempt is blocked. Looks like Big Art Plunkett, who blocked one last week at Green Bay, has his hands on another one. Danello not very happy about that.
You can see that hard charging defensive line coming in. Oh, look at number 70 come in. Oh, good block. He just powered all the way through there.
Well, Joe Danello, who is for the Buffalo Bills, their 18th kicker in the last 20 years. There's Big Art Plunkett, block number 2. Another great weekend of NFL football. Here's a preview.
The NFL plays here, L.A.
The champion Raiders now face the Chiefs. Can the Silver and Black stop the air attack?
The NFL plays here, KC.
Coach John Makovic sends his high-flying offense into the skies again.
The Raiders battle the Chiefs. The NFL plays here.
My team plays here.
mistakes. The man on the left hates them. The man on the right is benefiting from them. As the Cardinals now, with the blocked field goal, have the ball 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line, leading Buffalo by a score of 10-0. Lomax on 1st down. Quick shot. It is caught by Cedric Mack. And Mack all the way out to the 42-yard line of the Buffalo Bills in the arms of linebacker Jim Haslett. That is the first reception of his NFL career for Cedric Mack, the former defensive back.
Coach Hannafin's very high on Cedric Mack. Yesterday he told me that he had made another switch, defensive back to an offensive receiver, and you can see why. Cedric Mack, the shades of Roy Green. Watch this coming over the pile. See, look at Lewis Sharp. Now, that's an offensive lineman coming down blocking. That's the trade of a good offensive lineman. Probably an all-pro one of these days.
Surprised you defensive linemen ever give those guys credit.
Well, you know how it is.
Of course, you're retired. You didn't while you played. 1st and 10 now from the Buffalo 43-yard line. O.J. runs into Lomax and goes down. Well, somebody went the wrong way.
Well, by the way, O.J. was running up behind the quarterback. Bill, I feel that it was the play going straight up the middle. Then again, Lomax being a quarterback, and O.J. looking like he's upset. Maybe O.J. should have rolled. We don't know.
I think what that was that trap up the middle that we saw Earl Farrell break for good yardage earlier.
All right, well, watch Lomax. See, Lomax knows the play arch going to the left. O.J. just didn't run the ball right. Probably the most surprised man in the whole park was Lomax.
I call it 2nd and 12 from the 45 now. As Marsh in motion back to the left. Lomax has got time. He's got a target. Tilly, first down. There is one of the more sure-handed receivers in the National Football League in the arms of the rookie Rodney Bellinger, Pat Tilly.
Rodney Bellinger coming out of Miami is having his hands full. When you're a rookie and your first start, a team picks on you, the next team is not going to stop picking on you. As you see, Pat Tilly beat him inside pretty quick. Bellinger's probably having nightmares about wide receivers right now.
Well, Bellinger can certainly outrun Tilly in a straight line, but Tilly never runs in a straight line. He has some of the quickest feet in the National Football League. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals at the Buffalo 19-yard line. Anderson, good block. Down to about the 11-yard line goes O.J. Anderson. Lomax, by the way, 7 out of 8, 88 yards and a touchdown. There is the Cardinals' main man with the football, Harvey, number 32, Otis Jerome Anderson.
1,270 yards last year, 11 all-time NFL rusher. What can you say about the guy? Broke all of Chuck Foreman's records in college. And that was O.J., vintage O.J. right then. Catching the ball on the pitch out and going straight upfield with the ability to cut either right or left.
He's got some power. 2nd and 3 at the Buffalo 12-yard line. Farrell and Anderson in the eye. Anderson again. Close to the first down. Good pick-a-hole running over there. Don Wilson, the free safety, got in for a shot. Eugene Marv also on the tackle. Harvey, it's interesting the way the Cardinals are attacking the outside. O.J. Stutter stepped inside, broke back to the outside as a defensive end playing in the 3-4 defense as the Bills are doing. What are some of the problems you have with an O.J. Anderson?
Well, if your linebackers get caught on the outside, as we see Chicago in the first quarter, 10-0 over Denver, all right. Well, my goodness, the Dallas Cowboys are behind 7-0 to the New York Giants.
No cheering in the press box,
okay,
Mr.
well, okay, you know, I can't help it. All right. O.J., first down. Bill, getting back to what you were talking about, when your linebackers get pinned in by good offensive blocking, as we see Dallas again losing in the first quarter, 7-0. Detroit 10, Atlanta nothing. Kansas City 7, Cincinnati nothing.
So those offensive ends getting pinned in on the blocking. They did a good job on that one, yes.
They did. O.J. really had the option to go outside on that last play.
It's 1st and goal at the 9. For the Cardinals, already up by a score of 10-0. Well, someone was anxious to get to number 15.
And he was going to go through the center to get to him, too.
That was Fred Smirlis. He's gone through a few centers in this time.
Well, that's a sack or something. I don't know. That's the first one I've seen where... Oh, Smirlis is the first one off.
76 defense. First down.
Like a good 10-pin shot there.
It's a good bowling shot.
Fred Smirler's 4 straight Pro Bowls. Now let's see what the other flag is he's picking up behind the Cardinals. There, Minnesota now has been tied by Philadelphia 3-all. The ball now is at the 5-yard line, where it is 1st and goal. McFadden, 27-yard field goal to tie that ball game up we were just telling you about. 1st and goal from the 4 for the Cardinals after that penalty. Lomax in trouble and throws the ball away through the end zone, and there's a reason he threw it away, because Ken Johnson was all over it.
Ken Johnson, 10 sacks last year, probably an unsung hero in the Buffalo Bills defense. It was all over Neil Lomax, but if you notice, Lomax got the ball through about 3 defenders with his offensive man behind them all. It's a good quarterback.
2 years ago, he would have been sacked with that football. That's the maturation process we're talking about.
You're right about that. He's really maturing into a great leader. Jim Hart's gone. It's now Neil Lomax's team, and he likes to call himself a player's quarterback, one of the fellas.
Ken Johnson, by the way, replaced Sherman White, who retired. It is now 2nd and goal at the 4-yard line. End zone, intended for Roy Green, but Bellinger got a hand in that time. Just a quick slant. But Rodney Bellinger had pretty good position on Roy Green, and Roy couldn't quite shield Bellinger away from the football.
Well, you know, Rodney's not going to take it laying down. He's a professional. He's a #1 draft choice. Roy Green has an inside position on him, but Rodney shows he has some talent there.
They really like Bellinger. He's only 5'8" and 181, and not the fastest man. He replaces Mario Clark, who was traded to San Francisco, but he is a tough football player, very tough.
The Bills,
5'8" or not.
The Bills actually drafted low to get him, so they could be sure they could get him.
It's 3rd and goal now at the 4-yard line. Bills are coming with a blitz. Can Lomax get away from it? End zone, touchdown! O.J. Anderson.
Otis Anderson. Neil Lomax is showing why he's maturing into a good quarterback. He's using every receiver he has. O.J. Anderson, great catch.
He beat Lucius Sanford into the end zone. The blitz was coming, but the Bills didn't get there. That meant you had single coverage in the secondary. Neil O'Donoghue makes it a 17-0 football game. So, with that Anderson 4-yard touchdown here in St. Louis, the Cardinals lead Buffalo 17-0.
It's
8 plays, 65 yards. That's Neil Lomax. 8 of 11, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. Cardinals are up 17-0. 1:34 still to go in the first quarter. Coming down to Wilson at the 6. 10. And down he goes at about the 15-yard line. And the arms of Victor Heflin. And he appears to be shaken up. Uh-oh. My. What do we have here? Phil Simms, 16-yard pass. And the Giants are out in front now by a score of 14-0. That never happened when you played.
It was worse sometimes.
There's Don Wilson, the rookie free safety, who was injured on that play.
Don Wilson's a guy who's a free agent. Made the team on his kick return ability, as we saw him getting hurt on this return. And ended up being a starter at the free safety position. Feels the coach, K. Stevenson, feels Don Wilson has a lot of range. But right now, looks like he got the wind knocked out of him, I think.
The Giants lead down 7-0 first quarter.
Don Wilson looks as though he's going to be okay. Next week on NFL 84, join host Bob Costas as we begin our series, The AFL Remembered, a look back at the AFL on its 25th anniversary. We'll have interviews with Al Davis, Lamar Hunt, Joe Namath, George Blanda, Jack Kemp, and many, many more, plus some rare pictures and highlights. A series you won't want to miss, The AFL Remembered, next week on NFL 84. Boy, did they score some points in the good old AFL.
They did do that. They made it exciting to watch.
Nightmare for the defenses.
It's still nightmares.
Buffalo has it 1st and 10 from their own 16, trailing 17-0. Ferguson gives deep in the eye to Greg Bell, but doesn't get much. Greg had a rough week last week. He only averaged about 2.2 yards a carry, but part of the problem, Harvey, was the fact that he didn't have experience in picking up the blitz.
Well, he really didn't, and when he had the ball, he was real indecisive in what he had to do with the ball. But I feel Coach K. Stevenson wants to establish a running game. Every good head coach in this league feels that he has to have a good running game to be competitive in this game.
Well, they couldn't establish one last week because they fell behind 21-0. They're behind 17-0 here. 52 seconds to go. Double tight end set. That's Ulysses Norris. That's Booker Moore. And Booker knocked out of bounds by Kurt Ellerman up near the 25-yard line. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the St. Louis Football Cardinals and the National Football League is prohibited.
You know, speaking of Booker Moore, last year missed most of the season with a severe nerve disorder. He's back this year. Most people, it was fatal. Booker Moore, being a tough competitor in life as he is also on the football field, made it through that, and he's a starter for the Buffalo Bills.
It was a long way back for that man, number 34, Booker Moore. It is third and about 2 yards to go. In the shotgun, here comes some company, but he gets it away and gets a first down to Julius Dawkins on the far side. Julius Dawkins, 6'1", 196, the second-year man out of Pitt. So with 37 seconds to go, Lee Nelson ran him out of bounds. There you see Julius Dawkins giving the Buffalo Bills a first down. You know, the same thing is happening this week that happened last week to Buffalo. They came in wanting to get a ground game going, but when you're behind 21-0 as they were last week, 17-0 here, it sort of gets you away from the game plan.
You see K. Stevenson on the sideline look pretty worried as coach of the Buffalo Bills.
Greg Bell now the lone setback on the 1st and 10. On the Buffalo 34, Booker Moore is the man in motion. Ferguson on the roll. And he's got Hunter for a first down upfield. Tony Hunter out of Notre Dame has excellent deep speed, and he beat the linebacker, Kurt Ellerman, on that one. That tells you about the injuries last year. Buffalo at one time lost 10 starters.
Oh, it's E.J. Jr. there. E.J. Jr. is covering Tony Hunter. E.J. likes to play the middle, but this week because of an injury, he's playing the strong side. Didn't cover him too well. It looks like it's number 51.
Kurt Ellerman, yeah.
Yeah, it's Ellerman's man there. E.J. just let up. He should have followed him all across the field.
1st and 10 at midfield now as the Bills have an offensive drive going. Ulysses Norris in motion. Ferguson wants to go up top. Here comes linebacker Blitz. He's in trouble, but gets it away and out of bounds. They had E.J. Jr. coming. They had Bob Harris coming. David Galloway was in there. I think just about everybody in a red uniform was after Joe Ferguson on that one.
You see E.J. Jr. coming in here. E.J. takes on... Bubba Baker goes over the top. Joe Ferguson shows why he is an excellent quarterback. Rolls right out of that, takes a lick, but still throws the ball.
So with 21 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Bills are looking at 2nd and 10 from midfield. The Cardinals led the National Football League in sacks last year with 59, trying to get their hands on Joe Ferguson. He'll go out of the shotgun this time. Here comes some heat, but he gets it away, and it's behind Tony Hunter. Intended for Tony Hunter, he was being tracked by Lee Nelson, and I think the tight end and the quarterback just didn't get synchronized on who was going where.
I feel that Joe Ferguson thinks that the St. Louis Cardinals will rush him a lot. You notice when he's sitting back in the shotgun, he is sitting back there with 2 guys on the side of him. As we watch Detroit 17, Atlanta nothing in the second quarter.
Gary Danielson, 11-yard pass to David Lewis.
I think he has extra protection back there for him, which lots of times he might need those extra protectors to go out for pass routes.
Well, he's going to need some extra protection here because it's 3rd and 10 from midfield, and the Cardinals will be coming after him. He's going deep. Down the left side is intercepted by Wayne Smith. It was intended for Julius Dawkins, but Wayne Smith hauls it down. Wayne Smith has about 4.5 speed, and Dawkins could not beat him on the fly.
You saw the graphic, 2nd in the NFL last year with 8 interceptions. Wayne Smith, see Joe Ferguson with the ball. He's back far enough. He has plenty of time. He throws the ball, and watch Smith. Smith is just running behind him. He turns around like a good defensive back is supposed to when the receiver turns around. Ends up with an interception. Ball was a little underthrown, though, Bill.
Wayne Smith has the cornerback position unchallenged because Jeff Griffin is out with a fractured arm. So with only 9 seconds to go, and Lomax and the Cardinals leading 17-0, have it 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line. O.J. Anderson gets a couple of yards up to about the 18-yard line. It was Ken Johnson making the tackle. So, with the end of the first quarter, the Cardinals lead Buffalo by a score of 17-0.
A lot of people think America can't
Call from the White House, from George Allen, or from upstairs.
Whoever it is, you see Joe Ferguson sitting there. He's the new leader now with Joe Cribbs gone. He's got a much cooler head now.
All right, the Cardinals at the beginning of the second quarter have 2nd and 7 from their own 18-yard line. And Lomax once more. He's got time. Where's the target? There he is, out about the 22-yard line is Roy Green. Sorry, brother, that's Earl Farrell. I guess that pretty much tells what has happened in this first quarter of action. Cardinals 9 first downs to 2, 49 yards rushing to 8, 92 to 45 passing, 141 to 53. They have dominated, Harvey.
Neil Lomax is on his way to a good afternoon passing the football, but you can't count a guy like Joe Ferguson out. Well, last week he showed his ability to be a leader and come back. This game is still early.
Buffalo last week stacked close to 8 men on the line of scrimmage, shut down the New England running game, and got back into the ball game and narrowly lost. Deep in the eye, the ball goes to O.J. Anderson. He picks his way out to about the 28-yard line.
O.J. Anderson is such a fine talent. Right then, he just jumped right over some blockers. He can do it all. If you don't watch him, and he is healthy, he has the ability to go sideways, he has the ability to go straight, and he even has the ability to reverse his field and go the other way without blockers.
Bad news from the Bills' locker room. Rod Hill has a broken bone in his leg. He's going to be done for quite a while. And that's one thing they didn't need in their secondary either.
Well, Rod Hill coming from Dallas, I had a chance to play with him last year, and the year before that as the #1. Hate to see him go down like that.
1st and 10 now from the Cardinals' 28-yard line. O.J. will try the left side. Steve Freeman had crashed into the backfield, but O.J. skipped right by him and got the ball out to about the 33-yard line. Ken Johnson finally made the tackle. Johnson had been a designated pass rusher while Sherman White was there, and you can pretty much guarantee that the Cardinals are going to run right at him, Harvey.
You're right. He's an excellent pass rusher. He's probably one of the best on the Buffalo Bills line. O.J. Anderson is 7 carries, 25 yards so far.
2nd and 6 now from the Cardinal 32-yard line. 12:45 to go in the first half. Delay to Anderson. First down at the 41-yard line. That was a strange-looking play with Earl Farrell, the fullback, going in motion back to the right side, becoming set in the slot. Darrell Talley made the tackle.
That's a little misdirection draw is what it was. With Neil Lomax passing like he's passing, Buffalo really has to be cautious about covering receivers. This gives him a chance to work his great running back, O.J. Anderson, on little outside plays, inside plays, and even draws. He's a dangerous receiver.
Buffalo Bills play a basic type of defense, not many stunts up front, and they play primarily zone in the secondary. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals from their own 40-yard line. Lomax wants to put it up on pass play action. O.J. Anderson, 40. Oh, is he hit by Eugene Marv? Oh, boy.
Eugene Marv. It's a good linebacker. Last year's #1 draft choice. Covered punts a lot. Watch Eugene come up. Oh, he really didn't play that much last year. This year he came back, he's a starter. You can see why.
Eugene Marv really put the wood to O.J. Anderson, leaving the Cardinals with a 2nd and 5 at the 45. See if the Bills bring some heat now. That's Stump Mitchell. Flag goes down, and so does Stump Mitchell. They were expecting the Bills to come up between the tackles with some sort of heat, and they were trying to circle the corner with Stop Mitchell, but Eugene Marv made the tackle again. This was a good quartet of linebackers, as the Cardinals were guilty of the infraction. Lucius Sanford, Darrell Talley, Eugene Marv, and Jim Haslett. Marv was the main man, 6'3", 240.
He was the leading tackler last year. I said he didn't play much.
I think you were thinking about Darrell Talley.
Yeah, I was thinking Talley. These linebackers are so good. Marv is the main man. He leads the team in tackles and does almost everything for him.
Illegal formation, number 63 offense. Penalty is declined. It's third down.
Apparently, Tootie Robbins must have lined up in the backfield. You must have 7 men on the line of scrimmage for the play to be legal. Eugene Marv, by the way, third-round draft choice in '82 out of Saginaw Valley State. 11:07 to go, 3rd and 5 for the Cardinals. At their own 45-yard line, shotgun formation. Nickel back for Buffalo. Here comes some pretty good pressure. And there's a first down at the Buffalo 45-yard line. Willard Harrell. And Willard is injured on the play. Willard, by the way, has just recently become a licensed hairstylist, he tells me.
That's right. Willard said he's likes to spend his time doing fingernails. Right here, he's catching footballs on Sundays. He falls on the ball right here. It's a good tackle, and he falls right on the ball. And folks at home, when you fall on that ball on this hard artificial turf, it has a way of pushing the ball through your ribs. That's the only thing that will give right then is your body. The turf won't give.
You cannot inhale the football.
No, you can't. You can just catch it.
1st and 10 now from the Buffalo 45-yard line for the Cardinals. That's Earl Farrell. Getting about 5 to the Buffalo 39-yard line. Darrell Talley in there. Again with Eugene Marv. You're talking about Darrell Talley, number 2 draft choice last year. He replaced Irvin Parker, who was waived, and has done a very fine job. Very active linebacker. Lomax 11 of 14, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Well, last year, Talley was big man on specialty teams. Came in a lot. Kansas City 14, Cincinnati 7.
Ray Horton, interception return. 9:46 and counting on 2nd and 5. That's Green in motion. That's Stop Mitchell with the football. And Stop Mitchell has a first down. Boy, he's awfully hard to corral once he starts spinning and turning. There's Stop Mitchell.
All right, we're looking at Eugene Marv right here. Oh, he's just an active linebacker. Active. He's always, the trait of a good linebacker, always going to the ball. Stop Mitchell's a good running back, too. Eugene has to wrap his arms up, but I'm sure he knows how to do that, leading the Buffalo Bills in tackles last year, and looks like he's on his way to lead them again this season. Good linebacker, really fouled the ball.
Eugene Marv, the strong side linebacker, but the Cardinals get a 1st and 10 at the Buffalo 34. That's Roy Green, but I think the ball hit the ground first. 1-yard run by Gerald Riggs for the Atlanta Falcons, and Detroit out in front now by a score of 17-7.
That was a strange play. The right offensive tackle and guard pulled to the left. Lomax threw the ball to Roy Green over here by himself. You see the tackles going to your left? Now he throws the ball to Roy Green out here by himself with the receiver blocking up front of him. As you see at the left part of your screen, there was a top part. That was some feet there. That was the receiver blocking for Roy Green. That's all the blocking he had. Good play if he'd have caught the ball.
I think it was a misdirection. That was to be a flanker screen to the right side, trying to fool Buffalo, thinking they were going to the left. Lomax. O.J. Anderson, 35, out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Rodney Bellinger over there, along with Darrell Talley. Here's some murmurs going through the crowd. That's because They don't like to see O.J. step out of bounds.
If they've been a running back as long as O.J.'s been a running back, sometimes stepping out of bounds is better than running into a helmet.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what's behind that. O.J. said a couple of years ago that Franco Harris told him to run out of bounds and he'd last longer. That did not sit well with the Cardinal fans at all. They've been on his case ever since.
No, but he's still lasting.
Yes, but he should perhaps have not mentioned it.
Yeah, he should have kept it to himself.
Yes. All right, 2nd and 8 now. From the Bills' 32-yard line. That's O.J. on the inside give. Trying to turn the corner and down to about the 30-yard line. It's almost a single wing play there.
Well, you saw the ability of an O.J. Anderson to actually step out of the arms of a tackler. And a guy that size, 6'2", 220, checked in 8 pounds under his playing weight. He was actually his rookie weight this year when he came in. Real slim runner. And he's able to back out of a tackler's arms. That's the trait of an excellent running back.
Looks like a 47-yard attempt by Neil O'Donoghue. Out of the hold of Benny Perry. It is blocked by Buffalo. And on the far sideline, the ball rolls out of bounds. Looks like Eugene Marr might have gotten a hand on the football. He was the man chasing it on the far side. So we've had a blocked field goal attempt on both sides.
Eugene Marr is showing up all over the field. If he's not on a tackle, he's blocking an extra point or a field goal try. He's a good athlete. Watch O'Donoghue's approaching the ball. Oh, nobody touched Eugene. Eugene came in from the right side.
So, 7:54 to go. Cardinals lead 17-0 over Buffalo. Bill Wilkerson, Harvey Martin in St. Louis. 7:54 to go in the first half. Buffalo trailing the Cardinals 17-0. 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Booker Moore, Greg Bell. Ferguson, Greg Bell. Kurt Alleman, nothing. Let's go back to that blocked field goal attempt and see what happened.
Watch the right side of your screen there. Number 89 there in the red. Watch 54 come over. See him? He jumped over, comes in, makes the block. Now, that is the way you should rush a field goal.
That was Greg LaFleur. That is not the way you should block a field goal rusher.
Well, you know, one coach is happy, one coach is upset.
And Greg will see that in the films tomorrow. All right, 2nd and 11. Tony Hunter now, a wing on the right side. Again, Greg Bell. Again, down. That was Leonard Smith. Today's game is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? Buy Visa cards and traveler's checks. Accepted around the corner, around the world. Visa. And buy Wheaties. Big time crunch, big time treat. Wheaties, what the big boys eat. We have about 6:47 to go. Buffalo having a very difficult time getting something going on the ground or in the air. Preston Denard wide to the left side. Mitchell Brookins wide to the right side. They will operate out of the shotgun. Ferguson. He's got time. He's got a receiver, but he will not get the first down. That was Mitchell Brookins, the rookie out of Illinois, in the arms of Leonard Smith. Let's see what else is happening around the National Football League. Chicago in front of Denver, 17-0 in the second quarter. Uh-oh. Giants 21, Dallas nothing. Where are you, number 79? Detroit 17, Atlanta 7 in the second quarter. And Kansas City is still leading Cincinnati 14-7. All tied up. Tampa Bay and New Orleans 7-all in the second quarter. John Kidd now will punt it to Stump Mitchell. Kidd out of Northwestern. Flag goes down as it comes tumbling down to Stump Mitchell. Gets away from one. And finally, he'll be hauled down by Trey Junkin up near the 23-yard line. We'll have to check the flag to see what happened on that play. 34-yard punt. But John Kidd may have to kick it again. Looks as though he will. The legal procedure against the Buffalo.
You know, while they're starting this play over again, Stump Mitchell is well on his way to actually, if he keeps it up, making some kind of team this year on returns.
56, offense, illegal formation. He was not on the line. It's 4th down.
That was Darryl Talley. Go ahead.
Somebody lined up he wasn't on the line there. But Stump Mitchell will end up being one of the better return men in the NFL if injuries can help him out. And when you return man and you're a daredevil like that, you got to be sure that you don't get hurt.
So far, he's been quite healthy for the football Cardinals. He made this football team as a return man, but he's a good backup to O.J. Anderson as well. So John Kidd will do it again. And as I said, if it can be returned, he will not fair catch it. Cardinals setting up a return right for Stump Mitchell. Let's see if he comes back to the right side. He's got the football, but he's got a lot of Buffalo Bills all around him. Great coverage by the Buffalo Bills and their specialty teams. It's still Cardinals 17, Buffalo nothing. Half of our NFL doubleheader on NBC Sports. Some of you will see Eric Coryell with Dan Faust back in control as the San Diego Chargers take on the Seattle Seahawks. Others of you will see the Cleveland Browns play the LA Rams or the Indianapolis Colts battle Earl Campbell and the Houston Oilers. Your team plays here next on NBC Sports. 5:25 to go first half. Cardinals have it 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line. Anderson in motion. Lomax to Anderson. Good play by Bellinger.
That was a good play by Bellinger. What Neil Lomax was trying to do on that play, he sent O.J. Anderson in motion right out to where Roy Green was. Roy Green was trying to take Bellinger's mind off of O.J. Anderson. Bellinger just pushed him in. He had help and came right back up on O.J. Anderson to make the play. Rodney's he's a rookie, but he knows how to play football.
By the way, Rodney was selected with a pick which came to Buffalo in the Tom Cousino deal of '82. 4:49 to go. Cardinals looking at 2nd and 10. They got nothing on that play from their own 17-yard line. Lomax. Flag goes down. Anderson has the football. 30, 35, 40, and out of bounds. Don Wilson bumped him out, but looks as though the Cardinals have been detected face masking. And the play is going to come back. I guess one of the offensive linemen must have gotten his hand caught in a Bill face mask. Tyrone Anthony, 2-yard run now for New Orleans as that game is all tied up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Vikings and Eagles still tied up in the 2nd quarter at 3-all.
Accidental face mask. Number 67 offense. 2nd down.
Louis Sharp.
Well, Louis, anytime you see a flag in the offensive backfield like that, it's an offensive lineman holding unless it's personal foul. I mean, I know offensive linemen hold all the time. I'm glad to see them call it sometimes.
No, Harvey, they don't hold. They were using their hands properly.
Well, that's the new rule. I forgot about the new rule that lets you stick your hands out there. Well, anyway, it's holding.
All right, so a lineman is out there, you grab it. He didn't get away with it. 2nd and 15 from the 12-yard line now. Stump Mitchell in motion. Lomax again. Ben Williams coming hard, but he can't get there. All day to throw the football. There's Doug Marsh. 35, 40, 45 for Doug Marsh and a 1st down for the Cardinals. Boy, Neil Lomax had time to pack a lunch back there.
That is some kind of offensive line blocking there. Neil Lomax looks to his right, he looks to his left, he looks down the middle, he looks to his right again. Watch now, Neil Lomax will come back. He looks to his right. Oh, look at Tootie. Oh, look at the help there. Everybody's blocking. Everybody's doing what they're supposed to do. Gives Doug Marsh a chance to get wide open. Somebody left their receiver to go help out on the quarterback. You're not supposed to do that. He was covered by somebody. He ended up catching a good pass.
Another tackle by Don Wilson and Darryl Talley, 33-yard gain. Roy Green in motion on the 1st down play. Somebody moved. I think the Cardinals moved first. Probably will be called for illegal procedure. Did you see the job they did on Ben Williams?
Yes, I did.
1st down.
Ben Williams used every move a defensive end has, and he still couldn't get around Louis Sharp.
Well, you can understand why. If you saw Louis Sharp had a lot of hands on Ben Williams, and everybody blocked and pushed him away.
Miami Dolphins. You heard about the Dolphins earlier. Out in front, Kansas City, Cincinnati all tied up at 14-all. Charles Alexander, a 2-yard run in the Cincinnati game. Jim Jensen to Mark Duper. Oh, little wide receiver pass in that ball game. There's Anderson trying to find room to run. He slips down to the 42. By the way, they are running on a new turf out here, and the turf, which is built by Monsanto here in St. Louis, allows the water, Harvey, to drain all the way through, so you shouldn't be playing on a mushy surface at any time, no matter how hard it rains out here.
Well, he really did need a new surface. You're playing here with the Dallas Cowboys. The surface was a little worn. Any ballpark where you have baseball and football played on it, the surface is going to suffer. And St. Louis Stadium is no different than any other stadium. There's a good carpet out there now, though.
They used to get a lot of AstroTurf burns here in St. Louis, but so far, so good. Winding down toward the 2-minute warning. Cardinals 2nd and 12 from the 43. Lomax looking for a target. And Doug Marsh got tied up at the 45. He is asking for a flag and will not get one. Lucius Sanford got tied up with Doug Marsh, and somebody tripped somebody out there.
Well, what happened was Doug Marsh saw the ball leave Lomax's arm, and he tried to make a turn around and tripped up over Lucius Sanford. Lucius didn't do anything but cover him very well.
So, 2:48 to go.
Yeah, Neil will go back. He's looking at the pressure. He's getting some kind of pressure right now. Just a little bit coming in. See that? He still got the ball away. That's probably the reason they threw the ball behind.
3rd and 12 now from the Cardinal 43. Lomax on the roll. Roy Green, 30. And out of bounds, up near the 27-yard line, and apparently he did not cross the line of scrimmage. You saw him stop over there, Harvey, and make sure he had not passed the line of scrimmage. Don Wilson made the tackle.
Neil Lomax has a feel for the football field right here. He will roll. This is a roll. Everybody's pulling out, trying to block for Neil. Nobody's on their side. He could have ran for about 5 or 6 yards. Smart quarterback. Stops, pulls up, throws the ball to Roy Green. Probably one of the most dangerous receivers in the NFL right now.
Roy came back to his quarterback, and he has a 1st and 10 at the Buffalo 27-yard line. 2:35 to go. Cardinals lead 17-0.
He's running well on that ankle. You know, Roy was feeling the ankle was a little timid yesterday. He's running pretty good on it.
Sure is. Lomax will have to hurry to get this play off. Only 6 seconds on the clock. He does. Pitches to O.J. Anderson. He's got some blocking, but the Buffalo Bills and Rodney Bellinger throws in a big hurry behind Vic Williams.
It's something that St. Louis Cardinals have found out in the game films this week about the outside of the Buffalo Bills defense. They have been attacking the outsides pretty regularly and running up the middle a lot with Farrell. Farrell's getting good yardage over the middle. O.J.'s not getting that much yardage going outside. It's kind of hard to get yardage outside when you run a defense that has a 3-4 in it, which was 4 good linebackers, which is Buffalo's strong point.
We are down now to the 2-minute warning as Neil Lomax will come over and talk with Dick Jamieson in the front with the red jacket on and Jim Hannafin behind him. Cardinals are firmly in control as the Cardinals lead Buffalo 17-0 here in St. Louis. On the board, but I don't think we anticipated no points from Buffalo.
We really didn't, Bill, and right now it's 2-minute warning coming up, and St. Louis has the football.
Well, we'll see what Neil Lomax can do with it. So far, the rain has held off, too, so weather-wise, it has not been a problem, but Neil Lomax has been a problem for the Buffalo Bills. It's 2nd and 5 from the Buffalo 22-yard line for Lomax and the Cardinals. He has gotten his 2-minute game plan from Jim Hannafin on the sideline. Let's see what he does with 2 minutes on the clock. He's going to put it up. He's got time. He's got a target. Pat Tilley down to the 11-yard line. Pat Tilley crossing deep in the Buffalo secondary. Rodney Bellinger ran him out.
Neil Lomax uses a run fake to freeze the linebackers, rolls out, comes right back, throws the ball on a crossing pattern to Pat Tilley. Pat Tilley takes him on. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he sure knows how to catch the football.
I think Rodney Bellinger is going to have to spend some extra time in the sauna tomorrow. Boy, has he had a workout here.
But he's a rookie. He's young. It won't hurt him that much.
Easy for you to say. You just retired. All right. 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. O.J. gets the pitch. Still dancing. O.J. down to about the 6-yard line. 1:44 on the clock. Very shortly, in case you missed some scores or would like an update on the others, NFL 84 will fill you in on what's been going on in the second week of the National Football League.
O.J. Anderson has a unique way of running. You notice when he's running, his right arm always pulls up out of a pile or something. He is slipping tackle. He's actually pushing tacklers away and slipping out of grasp of arms.
Very strong legs, O.J. Anderson. 2nd and 6 from the 7-yard line. The clock ticks away. Randy Love is the fullback. Love gets the football. Love heads for the end zone, down to about the 2-yard line and close to a first down. 1:03 on the clock. Cardinals don't have to hurry because they can let it wind down another 20 or 30 seconds if they are so inclined before they stop it. We're under a minute now at 53 seconds.
Yeah, Cardinals can actually get a first down on this play and still not have to score. Still get 4 more tries to get it.
Well, they stop it with 49 seconds to go. Cardinals looking for a touchdown, leading 17-0. In the background, you see the stainless steel gateway arch here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Cardinals have a 3rd and 1 at the 2. They can get a first down, as Harvey told you, without going into the end zone. Earl Farrell is a wing on the left side. Love and Anderson. Anderson. Touchdown. O.J. Anderson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. The Cardinals are now up by a score of 23-0.
Most of the success from the St. Louis Cardinals running game today has been with the fullback lead. As you see Love going in, O.J. just follows him. That's the only way they can do it with those great linebackers for the Buffalo Bills.
Charles Romes tried to keep him out, but he couldn't. So with 45 seconds on the clock, Neil O'Donoghue will try to make it 24-0. And that is what it is. So O'Donoghue nails it through, and the Cardinals now lead Buffalo by a score of 24-0. And Pete Axthelm are watching every monitor in the country, bringing you update on those scores. S.K. Stevenson as Wilson has it on the far side on the return, gets through a wave. He might, down he goes. That was his lead blocker. I thought Wilson had gotten through there. He didn't fool the Cardinals, though, as Felonico Noga makes the tackle. Only 41 seconds on the scoreboard.
Nika Noka, he's from Hawaii. I was talking to the PR guy from the St. Louis Cardinals yesterday, and he says, Harvey, when I told him he was going to be drafted by the St. Louis Cardinals in Hawaii, he said, where's that?
Well, Felonico, here you are, making a tackle in, where's that city? St. Louis. Out of the shotgun, the Bills need a score. Don't have much time to get one. Only 40 seconds to go. Up to about the 18-yard line. That was Byron Franklin. The clock continues to tick away. Bob Harris on the tackle. Hurry-up offense. Cardinals secondary, of course, is dropping deep.
2nd and 5, 17.
Joe Ferguson. Booker Moore was closer to the football than Mitchell Brookins was. Neither one caught it. Incomplete pass stops the clock at 15 seconds.
I have to think that Buffalo is right now thinking, as Joe Ferguson is looking for some signals on the sideline, they're thinking about that rush of the St. Louis Cardinals. Anytime you have a team that led the league in sacks, as they did the year before, and you're in this predictable situation, you know they're going to come. And that's what's happening right now. The guys are teeing off. Curtis Greer, Bubba Baker, they're all coming hard.
Well, you defensive ends know when you're trailing 24-0 with 15 seconds to go. There isn't much mystery, is there?
Got to have some fun playing in.
Some fun, he says. At this man's expense. But he finds a receiver. That's Mitchell Brookins, the rookie out of Illinois. But he's short of a first down. In the arms of Lionel Washington with 6 seconds on the clock. And with 6 seconds to go, Buffalo Bills are still not on the scoreboard, trailing 24-0. Man has a problem. He can't get the football in the other team's end zone. So therefore, John Kidd will punt it to stump Mitchell with only 6 seconds on the clock. Mitchell apparently will get a return. 45, 50, and down he goes, and out goes the clock. Stump tried to stop the clock at the second on, but was unable to do it as Jim Hannafin heads to the locker room. It's been a good Cardinal first half.
It has. With Stump Mitchell fielding the last ball of the first half. Talking to his coach, Jim Hannafin here. Stump's on his way to being a good receiver, a good return man, a good running back. He can do it all.
Hayes Stevenson, meanwhile, will try to figure out what to do about this Cardinal defense as Buffalo trailing the Cardinals 24-0. We'll see what happens in the second half of action here in St. Louis. World Series here in 1982. Meanwhile, summer is slowly slipping away, fall almost upon us, but the boys of summer still have some unfinished business, so don't miss the absolute best of baseball in the 1984 World Series. The championship of baseball begins October 9th here on NBC Sports, and we should have some new faces in the World Series. Now to New York, NFL 84 update.
Welcome back to NFL 84, and we say hello to those of you who have been watching the Buffalo-St. Louis and the New England-Miami games. Let's check the scoreboard. First of all, in that Patriot-Dolphin encounter, Ron Meyer takes the Pats into the Orange Bowl, where they haven't won since they were known as the Boston Patriots way back in 1966. Miami has beaten New England 16 consecutive times on this field. Now, after a scoreless first quarter, Steve Grogan drops back to throw for New England. It's intercepted by Glenn Blackwood. He'll dance around a bit, turn it into a good return, back to about the Miami 45-yard line. And then at that point, Miami embarks on the game's first scoring drive, and here is how it ends. From the 35-yard line, the flea flicker to Jim Jensen, the third-string quarterback, into the end zone. Beautifully thrown ball and a leaping catch by Mark Duper. There was some question as to whether or not he had stayed in after juggling it, but the catch was good. New England immediately strikes back. 90-yard drive, culminated by this 9-yard flip to tight end Lynn Dawson, ties the game up at 7-7. During that drive, Irving Fryer, the #1 draft choice for the Patriots, caught his first NFL pass. They are late in the first half at Soldier Field in Chicago, and the Bears are on their way to going 2-0. They lead Denver by a score of 27-0. There's John Elway, #7, sidelined by a sore shoulder and standing next to Coach Dan Reeves. He watches in the first quarter as the Bears, already leading 3-0, make it 10-0 on this beauty. A 61-yarder from Jim McMahon to the speedster Willie Gauld. And the 17-0 moments ago, Matsui scored to make it 27-0. And look what happened earlier in the first half. Kubiak is belted by Tyrone Keys. He had to be taken out on a stretcher, and that meant that Elway, despite the fact that he is ailing, had to come back into the game to quarterback the Broncos, who trail it 27-0. They are at halftime at the Meadowlands, and Phil Simms is on fire. 2 more touchdown passes. Yes, that's right. The Giants lead the Cowboys 21-0 at halftime. Also at halftime in Atlanta, Detroit is in front of the Falcons. The score there, 17-10. Bill McAtee, what's going on?
Bob, well, the Cardinals have reached agreement with their #1 draft choice, Clyde Duncan, the fine wide receiver out of the University of Tennessee, who played behind Willie Gault, but it doesn't look like Neil Lomax needs him. He has had an excellent first half. Kay Stevenson has been frustrated in the first half. Cardinals took a 3-0 lead on a Neil O'Donoghue field goal, and then this punt return by Stump Mitchell of 38 yards brought the ball down to the 20-yard line of the Bills, and that set the stage for Mr. Lomax to go to work. 2 plays later in the first quarter, Neil Lomax, a 4-yard touchdown pass to #81, Roy Green. And then later in the first quarter, Lomax again, another 4-yarder to #32, Otis Anderson. The extra point was good. It was 17-0 Cardinals. Anderson scored on a 2-yard run a bit later, 24-0 Cardinals. And you have to like the job that Todd Blackledge did in his first pro start last week against the Steelers. He is building on that again today. Sam White still looking for his first win as a head coach for the Bengals, and Blackledge hit this 46-yard TD pass to Anthony Hancock, who makes a great catch. Watch this catch in traffic, the third-year man out of the University of Tennessee. But the Bengals caught a break, and you got to figure that Carlos Carson would like a chance to catch this ball back again. He misses it, tipped into the hands of Ray Horton, who replaced Ken Riley. He goes all the way. It was 14-7 Kansas City. The Bengals tied it up a bit later on a 2-yard run by Charles Alexander. It's 14-14. Halftime down in Louisiana Superdome, 10-7. The Buccaneers lead this ball game. Minnesota and Philadelphia. It has been a defensive struggle. It is 6-3. Paul McFadden has hit 2 field goals for the Eagles, one of 37 yards, and Bob, one of 27 yards.
Bill, you mentioned St. Louis having their own way with Buffalo. There are those who think the Cardinals will be the dark horse team in the NFL this year, team to watch.
Yes, sir.
All right, stay with us now as NFL 84 halftime activities continue. We're coming back following these messages and a word from your local stations. It's halftime, and we welcome you back to our NFL 84 studios in New York. Another doubleheader Sunday on NBC. That means there's more action still ahead, and here's a preview. These are the games which make up the second half of today's NBC doubleheader. In the AFC West, both San Diego and Seattle are 1-0. Air Coryell flies to the Kingdome, where the Seahawks are coming off a shutout against the Browns in their opener. So Dan Fouts will face a tough defense. A week ago in Minnesota, he twice hit Wes Chandler for touchdowns. Offensively for the Seahawks, Dave Craig has receivers like Steve Largent and this man, Paul Johns, in his arsenal. And now, in place of the injured Kurt Warner, Franco Harris takes his pursuit of Jim Brown's all-time rushing record to Seattle. In Anaheim, the Rams host the Browns, and a couple of quarterbacks will be trying to get on track. Paul McDonald, the former USC star, had a dismal debut as the starting quarterback for the Browns on Monday in Seattle. His ball club was shut out. Meanwhile, on Monday night against the Cowboys, Vince Ferragamo, the Rams quarterback, suffered 4 interceptions, and the Rams dropped their opener. So both the Browns and the Rams are 0-1 coming into today's game. As are the Colts and the Oilers, who meet later today at the Astrodome. The game will feature a pair of great ball carriers, Earl Campbell of the Oilers and this man, Curtis Dickey for Indianapolis. For Houston, Warren Moon had some bright moments a week ago against the defending world champion Raiders. He threw for a couple of touchdowns before the Oilers eventually bowed 24-14. So those are the games coming up later today on NBC. Axe, the Colts and the Oilers are going to begin to wonder what it's like to play outdoors.
Yes, 2 building teams, and someday one of them may hope to own all indoors. They're going at it in very different methods, that's for sure. The Colts have Camp Cush, hard driving all the time. On days when other teams take the day off, they go in for 4-mile runs after the meetings. The Oilers, on the other hand, have the Canadian touch. Coach Hugh Campbell, quarterback Warren Moon, both from Canada. It might work. On the other hand, handicapper Mike Gelfand of Minneapolis notes that they might have Canadian devaluation. 100 points in Canada may only be worth 75 in the National Football League.
All right, Axe, your sources continue to come through with this inside info. Let's turn to Ahmad Rashad. The Chargers and the Seattle Seahawks later today. That's going to be a good one.
You know, the Chargers have been so close for so long, but they just haven't been able to come up with any defense. I spent some time around those guys this summer, and age is becoming a factor. They've got to win now because they're not going to play that much longer. As far as Seattle's concerned, they're trying to prove that they belong at the top of that division. They've got Chuck Knox, who's the only coach who's taken 3 different teams to the playoff. They plan on going back again this year.
The Chargers and the Seahawks split their 2 games last year, each time the home team winning. You mentioned the Chargers may be getting on in years, but last year, in fairness, they didn't make the playoffs largely because of the absence of Dan Fouts. They were 1-5 when he couldn't play.
Injuries are synonymous with football, and you've got to play and win with the people that you have there every Sunday.
And maybe synonymous with age as well, to further prove your point.
True.
All right, Ahmad, we'll check with you later in the day. Please stay with us. NFL 84 halftime activities will continue.
Back here in St. Louis, Bill Wilkerson along with Harvey Martin. It's 24-0. The Cardinals over the Buffalo Bills. Decidedly a Cardinal first half. The obvious question, Harvey, what will the Buffalo Bills have to do to get back in this ball game?
Well, get the ball to their offense. 21 minutes in time of possession for the St. Louis Cardinals, 9 minutes for the Buffalo Bills. They can't score if they don't have the ball.
And speaking of having the football, Neil Lomax has been very difficult for the Buffalo defense to contend with.
He's throwing the ball well today. He's well over 100 yards already in the first half.
Well, we'll see what happens here in the second half if Buffalo tries to get back to the ground game and if the Cardinals with Neil Lomax continue to put the football up. So we will see with the Cardinals up by a score of 24-0. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your... Gumbo will be live from Moscow tomorrow morning. An exclusive, unprecedented interview with the newly named chief of the Soviet military. That's tomorrow on Today. Neil Lomax, 16 of 21, 187 yards and 2 touchdowns. He has had an almost letter-perfect first half, Harvey.
He has. See him warming up now and has that look in his eye of a good quarterback. You know, every good quarterback has a little cocky look in his eye.
Well, the Buffalo Bills will get their hands on the football. Don Wilson has it at the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40-yard line. The Cardinals special teams continue to have problems on the kick returns. Green Bay burned them last week, and Don Wilson almost sets out for a 95-yard gallop this week, and he gets up limping.
Don Wilson was injured on his first return. He was slammed to the ground. He hit the ball. He gets up limping as if it's his, he's still limping there, as if it's his ankle or something. But he made the team on his return ability.
Well, there's Joe Ferguson's stats, only 58 yards, plus 1 interception. So we'll see if Joe can turn his situation around here. 24-0, the Cardinals lead the Buffalo Bills. 1st and 10 for Buffalo at their own 40-yard line. Bell and Booker Moore. Offset strong to the right side. Ferguson up top. He's got a target and a first down, but a flag goes down up near the Cardinals' 43-yard line. Leonard Smith made the hit on Byron Franklin. Byron Franklin, 4.49 speed as the officials there discuss illegal contact against the Buffalo Bills.
Watch Franklin come off the line. You know, the Cardinals are thinking about him after last week's performance. Here he catches the ball. He goes in. He's a good receiver. Real good receiver.
Second round draft choice.
Hands, number 70, offense, first down.
Well, they caught Joe Devlin with his hands illegally on one of the Cardinals. No doubt with a handful of jersey.
Bubba Baker was telling me yesterday in practice that he was going after Devlin today. He saw some things on the films that he didn't like, and he was going to let him know that he's a better defensive end than Devlin probably thinks he is.
By the way, Devlin came to Buffalo with a pick that the Bills got in the Walt Patulski deal to the Cardinals. So a lot of Buffalo Cardinal connection out here. It's 1st and 20 now from the Buffalo 30. Ferguson. He's got Van Williams, bounces off one, but he does not get away from number 54. When E.J. Jr. hits you, you remain hit for several moments thereafter. Van Williams is down. Speaking of injuries, we told you about how many injuries Buffalo had last year. We will also show you after we try to get Van Williams up here about that skirmish we were telling you about.
Now, what's Bubba Baker? And see, Bubba was telling me that Devlin pushes a lot and holds a lot. And, oh, Bubba, he hit Bubba right in the face. I like that Devlin. He's a tough guy.
He's also a very good offensive tackle. He missed all of 83 with a fractured ankle. He's also one of the co-captains.
You know, I remember Devlin when we played him for the Dallas Cowboys, and he and Too Tall Jones got in an argument. I think he has a way of getting those defensive ends' minds off of the game and getting them onto him. If your mind goes off the game and you get tied up with your offensive tackle and want to fight, you really can't concentrate on what you're doing, Bill.
Well, he's one of the smaller tackles at 6'5", 250. We have Obed O'Reilly, 41-yard field goal. It's now Tampa Bay 13, New Orleans 7. Minnesota now trailing 9-3 on a McFadden 49-yard field goal. As we mentioned before, Devlin, probably the best blocking offensive lineman of the Buffalo Bills. 6'5", 250. Bubba Baker's about 6'6", and 280. There he is right there, Joe Devlin.
Well, this should be an interesting play here.
Yes, to say the least. 2nd and 14. You don't think Bubba's going to try to get even, do you?
We'll see.
There's Ferguson being hit, getting away, still on his feet. Hauled down by Curtis Greer. Boy, did they ever have some heat on him. Curtis Greer had 16 sacks last year, and it was Curtis Greer making the sack.
Joe Ferguson's in that shotgun position. You see him drop back. He's already 9 yards deep. He drops back, gets pressure there, pressure there. Here comes Bubba Baker up the middle. Now watch this great tackle. Curtis Greer just grabbed jersey. Very strong defensive end. He took him down with a jersey.
Curtis Greer's wife, by the way, is his agent.
Well,
I'm serious.
Aren't most people's wives their agents?
I mean, officially. It's now 3rd and 21. Good point. That will prevent any domestic violence around the National Football League. And it is too short for the intended receiver, Byron Franklin. And a flag is down. Joe Devlin is around the flag, too. And Bubba Baker says, how about that? Joe Ferguson says, not again. Let's check the call here.
Holding, number 70, offense, Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Should I get you some antacids, Mr. Martin?
Oh, the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, New York Giants, 28-0. Phil Simms must be having an excellent day.
Yes, he is. 4 turnovers by Dallas. 18-yard pass from Simms to Zeke Mowat. John Kidd will punt it out of here. To Stop Mitchell, trailing 24-0, 13-18 to go, 3rd quarter. Good punt. But takes a Cardinal bounce, out of bounds at the Cardinal 43. So that's where the Cardinals will put the ball back in play as they lead the Buffalo Bills here in St. Louis, 24-0. Peters, the Cardinal defensive coordinator, they call him Sergeant Rock. It's like that famous investment firm. When he talks, everybody listens. The sergeant is firmly in control of his defense.
I was listening yesterday when he was talking.
Well, he brought the Cardinals to the top of the list in the sacks. Cardinals 1st down. O.J. Anderson, Charles Romes. Today's game is brought to you by Chevrolet, with the performance, style, quality, and the value that make up today's Chevrolet. By Stroh's and Stroh Light, fire brewed for smoother taste. And by the Ricoh Corporation, makers of automated office equipment and cameras. Bill Wilkerson, Harvey Martin. 2nd and 13 here in St. Louis for the Cardinals. Leading the Buffalo Bills 24-0. That's Neil Lomax bending under center. He has Earl Farrell and Stump Mitchell behind him on the 2nd and long play. Doug Marsh in motion, reverse motion. That's Stump Mitchell. And Stump gets all the way out to the 46-yard line. Again, that inside give with the fullback as the lead blocker. Don Wilson, who's been a very busy man, makes the tackle again. And one of the Cardinals gets up very slowly over there. I guess he just had a shoe problem.
That has been the most effective offense for the St. Louis Cardinals when they run the ball today, is that lead blocker coming in. Stop Mitchell, though, it's a very strong running back. If you notice, people bounce off of his upper body, and he keeps moving with his lower body. Completely strong running back.
Reminds me a lot of Mercury Morris, formerly of Miami. 3rd and 7, out of the shotgun. Lomax needs a target. And he's got one. 1st down. Patilli out to about the 42-yard line. If there is a hole in the secondary, Gary Thompson made the tackle. That man will find it. You know, Tilly was the leading receiver until Roy Green came along, as we take a look here.
St. Louis also uses the shotgun, and Neil Lomax is having a better success at it than Joe Ferguson is this afternoon. Pat Tilley was just waiting on the football. Pat Tilley is a very good story. He and Joe Ferguson are friends. They own an airplane together. I wonder what they'll talk about the next time they fly.
Probably dropping Tilley out of it, as far as Ferguson's concerned. 1st and 10 on the Buffalo 43-yard line. Lomax again. That's O.J. Anderson on the screen to the left side. And O.J. is corralled at about the 39. He had Terry Steed out in front of him on the safety valve over here, but you know what that was? That was the downfield, upfield option. He had Roy Green deep downfield. If he's single covered, he'll go there. If not, he looks back to the screen, the safety valve on the short side, and apparently there was double coverage on Roy Green deep. There's a Buffalo Bill player injured on that play. Boy, they've had some problems. It looks like Charles Romes. So, with the score, Cardinals 24, Buffalo nothing. We'll be back to St. Louis in just a moment. Ray Stevenson had injury problems last year, hasn't begun, but at least he's trying to do something about it.
Yeah, he hired Jim Spiros as assistant weight coach for the Washington Redskins. He hired him and built a new indoor practice facility for the bitter cold in Buffalo, and he hopes this will help his team out as far as injuries in practice time.
Cardinals 2nd and 6 from the 39. Cedric Mack is checked in wide to the right side. Pitch to Stump Mitchell. Looking to turn the corner and gets close to the 1st down. Well, the Buffalo Bills certainly pursue very well. New England now trailing Miami 21-7. Marino, what a year he's having already. A 15-yard pass to Mark Clayton. He's already hit Duper and also earlier As we told you about it in the pregame shot, that Marino to Duper combination is just lethal for secondaries around the National Football League.
Yeah, we were looking at Stump Mitchell, number 30. Stump Mitchell's real name is Livonia Mitchell. I hope he doesn't hear that. But anyway, he's turning into an all-purpose running back for the St. Louis Cardinals.
A la Joe Washington of the Washington Redskins. 1st and 10. He did get the first down at the Bills' 33-yard line. Lomax. Kelly, first down. Oh, is he hit at the 10-yard line? It was Don Wilson, that rookie, but Kelly beat him on the inside. First down near the 10-yard line. If they mark it on the 10, it'll be 1st and goal. And that's what it is.
Neil Lomax is a very confident quarterback right now. He's throwing to Pat Tilley. With this reception, this is his 5th catch of the day for 79 yards. Now, he takes a good lick, but he has the ball in, right? The ball's already in. He gets hit, it's a good lick. Pat Tilley's a tough receiver.
Charles Romes was hurt earlier, but not serious. He'll be back in. Did you see that double team on Smurlus?
Yeah.
He has not been a factor in this ball game so far.
We've heard Fritz Smurlus' name only on a penalty.
That's right. 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. That's Earl Farrell. Down to the 3-yard line goes Earl Farrell. Darryl Talley in there on the tackle, but they are getting some blocking between those guards and tackles.
Farrell has done that all day long. He is coming in for the retired Wayne Morris, as we said earlier in the show today. As we're looking at Fred Smurlus, who's probably wondering what's happening, because Farrell is getting most of his yards right where Smurlus is supposed to be.
They are double teaming him and doing an effective job up inside. Going to be 2nd and goal at the 3. Let's see where they go on 2nd and goal. Randy Love and Stump Mitchell offset strong to the right side on 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. Buffalo jumps offside, and the play is going to be called back. If they weren't drawn off, they're going to mark it at the 1.5-yard line, half the distance. Offside Buffalo. That is referee Tom Dooley making the call.
Encroachment, number 75.
Does that tell the game story or not?
2nd down.
I'll tell you, the Cardinals, 340 total yards. The Bills, 66 yards. The Bills' defense has to get the ball to Joe Ferguson. I mean, there's no way that the Buffalo can score unless Joe Ferguson has the football. They have to stop the Cardinals.
So far, the Cardinals have had the football most of the afternoon. Farrell, the wing on the right side. Mitchell and Love behind. Mitchell, touchdown!
Stump Mitchell goes through the right side of the Buffalo Bills defense over on the left side, goes through one-on-one. When he gets through like that, there's nobody that can tackle it, not on a day like today.
Cardinal offensive line doing a great job of opening holes and protecting their quarterback. So it's 7:56 to go in the 3rd quarter, and Neil Lomax has led the Cardinals to another one. O'Donohue tries to nail it through, and he does. So that's point number 31. The Bills are trailing the Cardinals 31-0 here in St. Louis. It's 21 seconds, all it took the Cardinals to go 53 yards and 8 plays. Stump Mitchell took it in. Cardinals lead it 31-0 as Neil O'Donohue prepares to kick it off once again. It's short and returnable. This is Van Williams at the 10. Going to try the right side. Gets through a couple of Cardinals and goes down at the 20-yard line. So, but the score here, 31-0. NFL update on that Dolphins game back to New York.
Bill, the Dolphins and the Patriots were tied 7-all at halftime, but quickly Miami has taken control in the 3rd quarter. First it was Marino to Clayton for 38 yards, then following a Patriot fumble, they come right back on this pass, a 15-yarder again to Clayton, 21-7 Miami. Bill?
Thanks, Bob Costas. Great job. You, Bill McAtee, Ahmad Rashad, and the X, keeping tabs on what's going on around the National Football League. Joe Ferguson has a small problem of how to get a point on the board against the tough Cardinal defense. He's got a 1st and 10 from his own 20-yard line. Here comes Curtis Greer, but he gets it away. It is Franklin taken away by Lionel Washington. 50, 45, 40, 35, 30-yard line, out of bounds at the Buffalo 28-yard line, Lionel Washington. But a flag is down. They're going to bring it back to the 37. He must have stepped out of bounds.
Lionel Washington last year, second in the NFL in interceptions with 8. He's got 2 today. Joe Ferguson has plenty of time, throws the ball long. Lionel Washington shows why he's a very good all over the show. He actually got it off the back of the receiver.
That was Byron Franklin, who runs a 4.4940, which tells you how fast Lionel Washington can run.
Well, if Joe would have gotten the ball just a little bit ahead of him, it could have been a reception, but it was underthrown because of the speed. And Washington just took it off his back.
Yes, I think number 12 knows that. First and 10 for the Cardinals at their own 37-yard line. Tilley in motion. Lomax wants to put it up. Scrambling. He's going to run out of bounds. Up at his 42-yard line. And it gives Rodney Bellinger a little shove to the head there.
As we look at Neil Lomax, on that last play with Kansas City 14, Cincinnati 17 in the third quarter, on the last play, I think the rule is any form of contact by the receiver and the defensive back means that the ball is dead, and that's what happened. So he had to go off his back to get the interception.
Okay.
The referees are on their job, aren't they?
Technical, aren't they?
Well, you know, when I was playing, they never were on the job. For some reason, they never called them right.
Strange how your perspective has changed. Second and 4 now from the 43-yard line for the Cardinals. That's Green in motion back to the right side. O.J. Anderson on a quick delay. He's got a first down. He might have more. O.J. down to the 40-yard line of the Buffalo Bills. O.J. Anderson running up into a crowd and turning on a burst of speed. It was Rodney Bellinger and Don Wilson, the 2 rookies, making the tackle. And when you have the safety making a lot of tackles, that means something funny is going on up front.
See, O.J. sort of frees everybody by going to his left and cutting back to his right. With his size, this makes him very dangerous, especially when he gets in the defensive backfield. Poor Rodney. If Rodney doesn't have a receiver in front of him, he's got O.J. Anderson in his face.
Rodney is getting some respect here this afternoon, I think, from the Cardinals. They certainly are seeing enough of it.
Yeah, they are.
First and 10 on the Buffalo 40-yard line. Lomax, screen, almost intercepted by Charles Rose. I have never liked that particular pass pattern at all.
Well, it's a bad pass pattern, but you have to be a good quarterback with a good receiver to complete that pass. You can throw the pass like Neil threw the pass and not get it intercepted. If it was a bad pass, that was a touchdown going the opposite way for Buffalo.
That's what I mean. You have no recourse. If it's ripped off, goodbye.
It's gone, but your pass has to be thrown perfect.
I think he knows that, too. That's Jim Hannaford. He's saying, good heavens, Neil, not now.
Really? I mean, it's no time now just to let yourself go down.
All right, second and 10 on the 40-yard line. It's Farrell and Anderson in the backfield. That's Farrell in motion. And I don't think they fooled anybody on that particular draw. Now we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is WGRZ TV2 Buffalo.
By the way, our best wishes to Mary Cross, who is the mother of our director Jim Cross here this afternoon. She's just out of the hospital in Fairport, New York. Mrs. Cross, we wish you a very speedy recovery. We understand you're doing well, and our best wishes from NBC to you. 6:03 to go, third quarter. 3rd and 11 on the Buffalo 41-yard line. Cardinals will go to the shotgun on this 3rd and long. Here comes an all-out blitz. There's drops the football. They had done exactly what they told us they would do if Buffalo ever showed the same defense they did last week against New England, but it backfired.
Well, you know what St. Louis is doing? St. Louis sort of suckered Buffalo into that defense by using the one-back offense. Last week, folks, New England had a one-back offense. Buffalo moved everybody up into the line, stopped the New England offense cold. They saw that last week. The Cardinals decided to do it this week to throw the passes off of it.
Well, they had the quick one to Tilley, but it was slightly behind him. As Carl Birdsong has his first punt of the afternoon, if you can believe that. 5 5:49 in the third quarter before he ever gets on the football field. Don Wilson will return it. All-Pro Carl Birdsong. Going to kick it away from him. Oh, did it go out of bounds or not? Yes, it did. At the Buffalo 5.5-yard line. Fellow Nico Noga apparently touched the football and touched the sideline at the same time before he knocked it into the end zone.
You're watching a punt. Birdsong, excellent punter. First year is an all-rookie team. Second year led the league in punts. Third year he was in the Pro Bowl.
So, from the 5-yard line is where they're trailing the Cardinals 31-0. Buffalo Bills now 95 yards away from Cardinal pay dirt. Preston Denard wide to the right side. Byron Franklin wide to the left at their own 5-yard line. In his end zone, Ferguson gets out of there and going to run it. And gets a first down. Out at his own 17 or 18-yard line. He'll mark it down at the 19-yard line. Update well. The Cowboys finally on the board. Gary Hogeboom, 2-yard pass to Doug Cosby. And the score now, Giants 28 and the Dallas Cowboys 7. Hogeboom has been quite a story in his battle with Danny White. Hogeboom had an outstanding first outing against Los Angeles.
Gary Hogeboom's a good quarterback. Playing on the team last year with him, I knew he could do it, but he's got to do it again today.
So far, the Giants have the upper hand. A 1st and 10 on the scramble by Ferguson at his own 20-yard line. He's got some time. He's got a target. That is Tony Hunter. First down. Ball gets away, but he was already down. Nope, that is the correct call. Once the receiver touches the ground, the ball is dead, no matter what happens after that.
You're right. See Bubba Baker right now. Joe Ferguson sets up the throw. Bubba, it's a good lick by Bubba Baker. Joe gets the ball away. Tony Hunter.
He's
down.
Oh, yeah,
right he was there. Down. He was down. You know something, Bill? That was just the 4th first down for the Buffalo Bills today. And that's how bad they need the football if they're going to score.
Yeah, one thing a lot of fans don't understand is once the player touches the ground with anything except his feet or hands, the ball is dead. No matter what happens after that, it is not a fumble. Detroit out in front of Atlanta, 24-17, third quarter high-scoring contest. 1st and 10 from their own 41-yard line. Brooklyn Moore, the lone setback. Ferguson looking to go up top again. And he was in the arms of Curtis Greer. That's why he couldn't get the ball away. And Mark Duda was beating up on one of the Buffalo Bills offensive linemen.
Yeah, I saw that. Duda looked like he was upset with
I think it was the offensive tackle.
Yes, the offensive tackle. It's Will Grant. No, it's number 53, the center. He was beating number 53 on the head. Yards passing. Cardinals, Neil Lomax, 226 yards. Buffalo, 76.
There's Will Grant.
Grant. But that smile may be deceiving.
The guy was beating him on the head with his hands.
But that type of smile, I've seen that before, is I will be back.
Well, folks, let's watch Will Grant. We think he's going to try to get even here pretty quickly.
That was one of those smiles.
2nd and 10 now from the 41-yard line out of the shotgun. Ferguson, he's got a target. Byron Franklin at the 21-yard line of the Cardinals. No, that was Julius Dawkins. I thought it was 85. It's Dawkins, 89, in the arms of Victor Heflin.
Joe Ferguson is showing what he can do if he gets time with the football. He throws a very good pass here. Very good pass. Good. Pretty play. Real pretty pass.
Julius Dawkins does not have the speed of either Byron Franklin or of Mitchell Brookins, but he got behind Victor Heflin on that one.
Yeah, he did. This was a nice play.
Gives them a 1st and 10 now at the Cardinal 22 with 3:16 to go. Tampa Bay in front of New Orleans, 13-10. Anderson, 23-yard field goal. Buffalo as close as they've been to the Cardinal goal line this afternoon. Brooklyn Moore in motion. On the roll. Gets away from one Cardinal. Around the corner, beyond the line of scrimmage, I believe. Touchdown! In the end zone, that is Preston Denard. But was he beyond the line of scrimmage? because they are lining up in the end zone for the extra point. Preston Denard came in the trade from the Los Angeles Rams. Joe Ferguson
decides to roll out and try to get away from that pressure from the St. Louis Cardinals defense. Right on the numbers. Touchdown, Preston Denard, coming out of St. Louis. And the Los Angeles Rams in a trade with Buffalo.
Denard, by the way, was all set to be shipped to Dallas for Butch Johnson, but Preston asked for too much money from Dallas, and he wound up in Buffalo.
Well, at least he's playing. He's doing what he wants to do best.
Joe Danilo. He's got point number 7. And the Buffalo Bills are finally on the board at 2:52. 31-7, the Cardinals lead Buffalo. Ferguson directed a 5-play, 95-yard drive for the first score, and more football coming up on NBC's doubleheader. San Diego, Seattle. Others of you will see the Browns and the Rams, and in other viewing areas, the Colts and the Houston Oilers. So Joe Danilo now will kick it off to either Willard Harrell, Stomp Mitchell, or Randy Love. Mitchell, that's Harrell, rather, 30 out to about the 31-yard line. Now for more on the Kansas City Chiefs game, up we go to NFL 84 in New York.
All right, Todd, what an impressive day for Neil Lomax. Another quarterback having a good day. Todd Blackledge in Cincinnati. He's brought the Chiefs back against Cincinnati. Carlos Carson beats Lewis Breeden. 19-yard TD pass. 21-17 Kansas City. It's a good one going on at Riverfront.
Well, the Chiefs apparently have found themselves some offense. Blackledge subbing for McKinney with a broken thumb. Cardinals have it 1st and 10 on their own 31-yard line. Out of the eye. Anderson in motion. Lomax wants to go up top. Gets away from one. Flips it to Doug Marsh, the tight end. And Marsh gets to about the 38-yard line. Ben Williams made the tackle. You rarely see a tight end back there in that part of the backfield catching a football.
Well, what happened was he was blocking. He was helping out on the pass rush and helping out the offensive tackles. We got an injured player on the field here.
Looks like Rodney Bellinger.
Oh, Rodney. Rodney's got a lot of attention today.
Yes, he has. But he's also played very well, too.
Oh, he looks like he's hurting, too. Oh, that's sad. Anytime you see a player moving like that, he's in some kind of pain. I've been there, or else I wouldn't know. My feet have moved, too.
Rodney, of course, played on the 83 national champions at Miami of Florida. They also have another player here from the championship team, as you look at Case Stevenson. And that is the huge fullback whom we've not seen. Number 41, Speedy Neal, 6'2", 254, a la Pete Johnson.
Yeah, big Speedy Neal. How did he get his nickname, Bill?
Well, I can only tell you what I've been told. They say that Robert Neal, which is his real name, his mother was in labor only a short time, so they thus named him Speedy.
Speedy's still getting there quick, isn't he?
There is Speedy Neal right there. Hasn't been busy this afternoon. We invite you to join us on November 10th for horse racing's $10 million day, the Breeders' Cup, featuring 7 championship races. And every race has a purse of at least $1 million. Truly the Super Bowl of horse racing, coming November 10th on NBC Sports. Cardinals, with 2:18 to go in the third quarter, leading 31-7 over Buffalo, have a 2nd and 4 from their own 37-yard line. Farrell and Anderson in the eye. Slot to the right side. Tilly comes out of that slotted motion back to the left side. O.J. gets the football, dancing for a first down. He's got it up to about the 44-yard line. Boy, he runs faster backing up than most people do going forward.
As I said earlier in the telecast, O.J. Anderson has the ability to go sideways almost as fast as he can go forward.
Lucius Sanford finally made the tackle. Gary Danielson added again an 11-yard pass to Leonard Thompson. Detroit 24, Atlanta 17.
All your great running backs have that ability, Bill. If they don't have the ability, just having the ability to go forward is not enough in today's game. You have to go sideways, too, sometimes.
Minute 26 to go. Anderson 17 carries, 69 yards. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals at their 44. Anderson gets the football again behind Earl Farrell. Running over Buffalo Bills to about their 48-yard line. Earl Farrell doing a pretty good job blocking out in front before Lucius Sanford and company finally caught up with him. Also, Jim Haslett in on the tackle, but those down linemen, especially Ken Johnson, have not been making many tackles at the line of scrimmage.
No, they haven't, and there's a problem brewing right here. If the Buffalo Bills defense don't get the ball for Joe Ferguson and his offense, there's no way that Buffalo can score. Joe Ferguson did a marvelous job the last time.
O.J. Anderson gets a hand as he comes out. By the way, Rodney Bellinger has a neck injury. They don't know the extent of this neck injury yet. As you recall, Rod Hill broke a bone in his leg earlier. They have some problems in the secondary. There's Stup Mitchell. He has some problems with Buffalo's defense. Holy smoke. Somebody really met him in the hole. That was our man, Marvelous Marv.
Marvelous Marv, Eugene Marv. He's been all over the field today. Blocked the extra points, he's followed the ball well, and he's made lots of tackles. You see him at the left side of your screen, number 54. Now watch him. He comes through. He really knows how to go to the ball. Watch him center up. Oh, but that's the way a linebacker is supposed to hit. That's why the Buffalo Bills are very high on Eugene Marv. Perfect tackle.
Well, that's the end of the third quarter. The score, St. Louis 31, the Bills 7. We'll be back right after these messages from your local station here in St. Louis. With Buffalo trailing now by a score of 31-7. Harvey, what do you expect from Buffalo? Can they get the football back from the St. Louis Cardinals is the question.
Well, they need to get the football back to give to Joe Ferguson. He did a good job with it the last series, and I'd like to see him get the ball more.
Right now, the Cardinals have it. 3rd and 3 from the Buffalo 49-yard line. Out of the shotgun. Buffalo jumps offside. A flag goes. Stup Mitchell goes for the first down, so they're going to get it one way or the other. By the way, the plays are signaled in to Neil Lomax. They have 2 players on the sideline, or either a player and a coach. One is live and one is not. So when you see Lomax looking toward the sideline, that's what he's looking for. And Buffalo offside, so by taking the penalty, they pick up an extra yard. So with 14:56 to go in the ball game, Cardinals up 31-7, and they have a first down at the Buffalo 44.
Haslett wanted to get the ball. He definitely want to get it back to Joe Ferguson, but he's got to stay on sides.
Yes.
That's real important to get the ball back.
Cannot be detected in the neutral zone. Farrell and Mitchell in the eye. That's Tilley in motion. Lomax wants to put it up. He's going deep down the middle. He's got Douglas first down at the 9-yard line. In the arms of Charles Rome, the tight end out of Michigan, got free, and they will mark him down right outside the 10-yard line. Doug Marsh.
Doug Marsh has spent most of the day blocking and helping out the offensive line. Lomax looks everybody off and goes straight down the middle to Doug Marsh. Excellent catch. Excellent over-the-shoulder catch. Doug Marsh is an unsung receiver here with Roy Green and Pat Tilley here. Doug Marsh does his job very well.
Bartkowski, 29-yard pass to Bailey. And you saw that score. Kansas City now 24-17. Nick Lowry, 52-yard field goal. Call it 1st and 10 outside the 10. They give it to O.J. Anderson, and he gets down to about the 9-yard line. Harvey, can they make a first down without going in? Is that where that stick is?
It's a matter of inches, but it looks like they can make a first down without actually scoring.
So it's not actually 2nd and goal, but 2nd and 9. We believe the stick, the far one, is right outside the goal line.
It looks like that.
Let's call it 2nd and 9.
I'd look for St. Louis to run a fullback. Well, they're coming up in one offense with the fullback behind O.J. Anderson playing the fullback, so we'll see.
Let's see if Buffalo comes with everybody right here. O.J. Anderson has the football. O.J. Anderson down to about the 4-yard line. Doug Marsh has had 3 receptions for 73 this afternoon. Steve Freeman made the tackle. Last year, Marsh had 32 receptions, 421 yards, and 8 touchdowns.
What St. Louis is doing with O.J. Anderson back in the one-back offense, they're thinking that Buffalo's going to put everybody up on the line, but I think Buffalo has gotten away from that practice because St. Louis has hurt them with passes on with the one-back offense and hit them with the running plays. They've hurt them also with the one-back offense. O.J. Anderson's a different runner.
It's 3rd and 3 now from the 4-yard line, so they can get a first down without going in. Now Lomax spots something and calls a timeout. I think he had run out of time on the 30-second clock is what happened. There is the score. Lomax heads to the bench. 31-7 St. Louis. There's Rick McIver, number 14. He's a rookie out of Texas, number 3 draft choice. And behind him, number 12, Kyle Mackey. 2 rookies backing up Neil Lomax.
And number 12 on that, Kyle Mackey from East Texas State.
Where?
East Texas State. Don't worry, that's where I'm from.
Oh, that East Texas State. Where in the world is that?
That's ours at Commerce, Texas. Way to go, Kyle. Look at the game now. Don't go to sleep, buddy.
You guys in East Texas are real low-key, aren't you?
Well, you know how it is.
Yes, I do.
Take things slow and easy in Texas.
You can't go to sleep leading 31-7. What's going on here?
If you're third-string quarterback, you can.
3rd and 3 for the Cardinals from the Buffalo 4-yard line. Marsh in motion. Back this way. He wants to put it up. And Marsh was intended receiver, but Charles Romes wants a piece of number 80's action out there. That was a good hit by Romes, and then he wanted to add an exclamation point to the hit.
No, but now, if it had been a group of timid officials, a flag could have been thrown on that. You know, it's just something that, even though he was excited he made a good hit, he could have cost Buffalo first. He could have cost Buffalo a first down right close, and there would St. Louis would have had maybe 2 or 3 inches to go for a touchdown.
That's a good point. Now Neil O'Donoghue will attempt a 21-yard field goal, trying to put the Cardinals up 34-7. And he nails it through. So with O'Donoghue's 21-yard field goal, the Cardinals up 34-7 here in St. Louis.
You know people like me.
2 of the Cardinal wide receivers.
I tell you, it's that was a good part about coming to play in St. Louis was the big red line. I've watched them a while.
You were supposed to be playing football. There's Don Wilson, a yard deep coming out. 5, 10, 15, and down he goes. Ball comes free, but it's going to be blown dead at the 15-yard line. That will not count. That was Thomas Howard taking the football away, but again, when the player went down with the ball in his possession, the ball is dead.
Yeah, the ball is dead. Thomas Howard, the newly acquired linebacker from Kansas City. All right, we're watching the return here. Wilson's running with the ball. He's up to the 15-yard line. That's a good hit right there. Good shoestring tackle.
That's John Good.
He was down. He was down.
Yes, he was.
He was down. The ball got knocked out when he was rolling over.
It doesn't matter what happens to the ball after the player is down with it. It can roll from here to Egypt. It's still coming back.
Right. I feel right now Joe Ferguson is going to rain footballs right now, try to get Buffalo back on the scoreboard.
Let's see if he'll have time to do that. Or will they rain on his parade? 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Booker Moore and Greg Bell. Cardinals threatening a blitz with E.J. Jr. He doesn't come. Ferguson drops back. They've got him. Bubba Baker. David Galloway also in there. Today's game is brought to you by Mazda, who invites you to experience the Mazda 626. By Radio Shack, the computer experts. And by Uniroyal. You may never need a tire this good. Joe Ferguson is the man injured on that last hit by Bubba Baker. Boy, was he ever hit by Baker. I don't think he ever saw it.
What happened on that play, as most defensive linemen know, when you're coming in the quarterback and the quarterback does not really see you, Joe's backing up now. Everybody knew that Joe Ferguson was going to have to throw the ball. He sets up, as you see, through the fighting end. There goes G-Way over the top. Galloway. Here comes Bubba Baker. Now watch this. Bubba's going to crush him to the ground just off momentum. Oh.
His head hits the ground first.
Oh,
his
and his left arm is up under that. His face mask hit his hand, it looked like.
Now, Bubba Baker weighs 280 pounds.
That's right.
Just remember that.
Now, see, watch this. Galloway forced it. Here comes, his left hand looked like it hit his face mask, and it's not his passing hand. They're working on him now. He's the guy that Buffalo really can't afford to lose at all. He's the leader. He's the main person.
So, as they attend to Joe Ferguson, we'll take a timeout here and be back in St. Louis with the score: Cardinals 34, Bills 7. You know, Harvey, it's ironic. As a defensive end or a defensive tackle, you spend all day trying to get to the quarterback, but you never really like to see a good competitor get hurt.
Well, that's the one thing a lot of people at home don't understand, is that they think that defensive linemen are basic killers. As you see right here in this picture, Joe Ferguson's going back. He's getting a hand as he's coming off the field. He misses Galloway. He makes a gallant try after him. Bubba Baker comes in again. The ball is up under. Oh, he's crunched. He is just really crunched. But there's something with the left side of his face, maybe his nose. I don't really know.
Yeah, it looks like a cut. Perhaps his face mask was forced up to his face when he was crashed into the astroturf out there. So now the Bills will have to go with some relative inexperience at quarterback because neither backup has had an awful lot of time.
And you know, defensive linemen don't really like to do that. People think that we really enjoyed that, but that's the bad part of the game.
Matt Kofler, number 2 draft choice in '82 out of San Diego State, is the quarterback. Kofler cannot find a target. Good rollout quarterback. He gets the first down, and oh, is he hit by Leonard Smith? Leonard Smith is the headhunter in that Cardinal secondary, and when he sees a target, he goes after it.
This is the price you pay when you're a quarterback and you're running in the secondary. Watch this hit. Oh, that's a good lick. It looked like he came across his head at first, but he came right across the shoulder pads. The referees would have called it.
16-yard gain. By the way, Leonard Smith, who was drafted as a cornerback, didn't pan out there. He was under heavy pressure here in St. Louis because Cardinal fans were saying, where is the number 1? But he came back this year. As you look at Joe Ferguson, you can see on his jersey that he has been cut, applying an ice pack now to the face.
There's a lot of blood on his jersey. He's going in.
1st and 10 now for Kofler and the Buffalo Bills. Ferguson gets a hand. Flags go down. Tony Hunter can't catch it with one hand. We'll see where the flags will be thrown as you see Joe Ferguson now being taken into the locker room. They have x-ray facilities at the stadium here, and also there are hospitals very close by. So we'll try to get a word to you on Joe Ferguson as quickly as possible.
Nobody likes to see that, especially when the guy you're competing against has to go off on a cart. That means it's a real important injury. It's a severe injury. And for Joe Ferguson, I hope it's not that bad. He's the leader of the Buffalo Bills. The whole team depends on Joe Ferguson to do it for him.
Buffalo also suffered a couple of other injuries earlier today, too. So it was a young ball club going in, suffered more injuries last year than any team in the National.
73 offense, first down.
That was John Borchardt, who was guilty of the infraction.
Joe Ferguson obviously is in great pain. He never took the towel from his face. He's never once dropped the towel, Bill.
So with 10:47 to go to the ball game, as you look at Matt Kofler, 1st and 20 for the Buffalo Bills from their own 18-yard line. Franklin on the route through the hands of Booker Moore. Word from the bench is that they are concerned about a possible broken nose for Joe Ferguson.
Well, if it's a broken nose, it is a severe broken nose because there was blood all over his uniform.
Yeah, and the other thing is the swelling tomorrow, which is a very painful situation.
Let's look again and see if we can figure out exactly what happened. All right, Bubba's is, I feel his face mask, his whole helmet crumped. I think his face mask hit him right in the nose and probably broke his nose.
I think you're right. 2nd and 20 now for Kofler and the Buffalo Bills. Well, something happened to Byron Franklin because he pulled up short at the 40 and the ball sailed down to the 45 of the Cardinals. Well, part of the problem with the new quarterback is lack of timing. And Kofler certainly hasn't had much time to work out because most of the work week is devoted to the number 1 quarterback.
Well, especially this week when the Buffalo Bills made such a gallant try last week to come back to beat the New England Patriots. You know, Kofor hasn't had much time to work. Here today, he's thrown into a game with the league-leading sack team coming after him almost every play.
And up 34-7 on top of that.
How would you like to be a quarterback coming in under that great defensive line rush after your other quarterback's gone out of the game from being sacked?
Well, you know how a fox feels at a hunt. 3rd and 20 now. 2 receivers to this side. Byron Franklin. Great catch, but I think he was out of bounds. He was.
Franklin caught the ball out of bounds.
So he was out of bounds. Franklin got away from both of the Cardinals, Wayne Smith and Victor Heflin.
I have to believe that Joe Ferguson would have connected on that play there. I mean, he's out of the game now, but that's his type of pass.
Yeah, the receiver was there. Now Stuck Mitchell will stand at his own 42 for the punt from John Kidd. He tumbles it. Mitchell will let it bounce, and he gets a Cardinal roll. Buffalo picks it up. The player has to pay for the indiscretion. Now tempers flaring out there as the official tries to get a hand on the situation.
Temper's a little short right now. Stump Mitchell wanted to get a tackle. You know, he returns the balls, he runs with the balls, and I guess he wants to tackle people too.
That was Justin Cross who got involved in a little fisticuffs at the end. So we'll be back here in St. Louis in just a moment. Cardinals leading 34-7.
Hi, Mike.
That's the time remaining in the football game. A new quarterback, number 14, the rookie out of Texas, Rick McIver, 6'4", 210, 3rd-round draft choice. He has quite a very strong arm. He can throw the ball almost the length of the field. 1st and 10 from midfield. It is Stump Mitchell. The flag goes down on the far side as they try to get him around the left corner. So on the pitch to Stump Mitchell, not much happening there.
Looked like Doug Marsh, the tight end, was a little eager to get his block on that play. He left the line before everybody else did. As we look at McIver, rookie out of Texas. Lomax left the game, completing 21 of 29 for 265 yards and 2 touchdowns today.
Not a bad afternoon. Minnesota now trailing the Eagles 12-10 in the 4th quarter. Well, the Cardinals have 2 rookie backup quarterbacks, and they're both from the state of Texas. Will razzle-dazzle play involved as Alfred Anderson threw a pass to Kramer in that ball game that we talked about just a few minutes ago, 21 yards. We have McIver from Texas and Mackey from East Texas State.
All right, you got the name right.
Well, they have enough football players in Texas to supply a whole bunch of teams.
Being from Texas, I know you're right.
It's 1st and 15 from the Cardinals' 45-yard line. That's Roy Green in motion. McIver gives it to Randy Love, trying to get around the left corner. And gets down to about the 49-yard line in Buffalo. They say that the injury to Joe Ferguson is a possible broken nose and not expected to return. By the way, we have 35,785 in the house, 38,512 were sold, 27,27 unused. Terry Thompson on that last tackle with 9:47 and counting.
I wonder what McIver's thinking now. He probably didn't feel he was going to play today. And he's going in, he's running the ball a lot. He hasn't thrown a pass yet, which is a safe way to do it.
Well, with the Cardinals leading 34-7, they'll only throw, I think, when they absolutely have to. And he barely beat the 30-second clock in getting that ball off to Stump Mitchell, and Stump gets close to a 1st down. There was 1 second on the clock, the 30-second clock, when that ball was snapped.
Stump Mitchell, Randy Love, as we're watching Stump Mitchell and Randy Love, 2 very good backs. Randy Love is more of your blocking back. You can follow him. If you follow him, he's going to go to the hole to block for the running back. Stump Mitchell is just showing everybody what he's becoming, which is an excellent running back for the NFL.
So you're saying if I'm playing linebacker and they're in an I formation, I should follow the fullback because he'll tell me where the running back is.
That's true on some plays.
I didn't think it was that simple.
No, it's not that simple.
3rd and 1 now from the Buffalo 41-yard line. McIver keeps it himself and he's going to get the 1st down and out of bounds. He's chased over there by Don Wilson, who may have hurt himself looping over the bench over there. Now, he's okay, but, man, I'll tell you, Wilson has been all over this field this afternoon.
I'll tell you, there's a problem when you're chasing a quarterback and you really want to get a good lick on a quarterback, especially in a situation like this. Buffalo's way down in points. As you see Wilson's coming, I'm going to get you. But he forgets to slow up, and he's blocked by the bench. Well, that's creative. Oh, I don't know. He might have been hurt a little bit on that.
No, I think he's okay, but look like one of the tumblers out in Los Angeles. Boy, he's got to be careful about that.
Well, at least they had a mat in Los Angeles.
Very true. This is not exactly a mat here. 8:32 to go. 1st and 10 now from the 37 on the scramble by McIver. And he's going to throw it. And guns it through the fingertips of Roy Green. Almost took his fingers off.
Oh, it's a strong pass. McIver's got a strong arm on him. Roy Green probably hasn't caught that many passes from McIver, especially in practice. He's probably always catching from Neil Lomax.
Right. Well, you see, with 4 years, Lomax has the touch. McIver sees a receiver and tries to subtract his numbers.
Well, you know, he's definitely, if you don't catch the ball, you won't intercept it either.
No. Nobody wants it when he throws it.
You throw it that hard, nobody wants the ball.
Jim Hart had that problem when he was a Cardinal quarterback as a young quarterback, putting too much mustard on it. He finally got the touch, too. 2nd and 10. That's Marsh in motion. Scott Mitchell has the football and got room to run and draws a crowd down at about the Buffalo 31-yard line.
Right before that play, Bill, you saw the Buffalo Bills linebackers kind of creep up into the offensive line. Now, you don't have to be a rookie quarterback to see that. People at home can see that. That was a blitz. They picked the blitz up very well, and Stump Mitchell just came right through the line.
Now, what it means if you're thinking offensive strategy, if they're blitzing, it's single coverage in the secondary. And if you can get a quick slant or a quick out to one of your receivers, 9 times out of 10, they wind up in the end zone.
You're right. Sometimes you have a running play, a quick hitting running play like the last one, and you're gone.
Right. 3rd and 5 now from the Buffalo 31-yard line. Stump Mitchell and Randy Love are the split backs. And Louis Sharp moved before the ball was snapped. Or did the 32nd clock elapse? One or the other.
Louis Sharp moved before the ball was snapped. That's what it looked like to me.
False start, 67, offense, 3rd down.
You know what happens, Bill? When a new quarterback comes into the game, the offensive linemen are used to hearing the regular quarterback, his rhythm, his snap count, everything that he does. And when a new guy comes in, he has his own rhythm, his own way of calling the snaps, and his own way of screaming out his authority as a quarterback. Sometimes that makes the offensive lineman uneasy.
3rd and 9 now from the 35-yard line. McIver will operate from the shotgun for the first time in his professional career. Here comes plenty of pressure from Smirlis. He gets away from him, and another one, and he's still running with the football. Smart move, Rick. Because there was Gary Thompson about to cut him in half.
The first time we saw Fred Smirlis in the backfield today.
Very true.
It really is. Smirlis is, great move. Did you see that spin from number 76, Fred Smirlis? He's coming in, he just was going too fast. That happens a lot as McIver scrambles out with those great rookie legs. He has the ability, but that happens a lot, folks. When you're a defensive lineman and you try to go kill the quarterback, you miss him. That was one thing we used to say in Dallas as we're looking at McIver get some instructions from his head coach.
A 47-yard attempt by Neil O'Donoghue. Out of the hold of Benny Farrett. Blocked. It is blocked by Charles Holmes. The Cardinals recover it, but that's the 2nd blocked field goal by Neil O'Donoghue today. I think Dave Aarons held on the football, but Charles Holmes came right through and got a hand on the football.
You know, O'Donoghue's having a problem with his extra points and field goals. The people in St. Louis and around the league know that he's having problems with causing St. Louis to miss a lot of games. It's not his fault. It's, as you see, it is not his fault. He gets blocked from somebody up front.
Dave Aarons missed his man.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. That's what he did. He missed his man from the far outside. It wasn't his fault, but being the kicker and being as inconsistent as he's been, he's going to get the boos here.
Very true. First and 10 now as Buffalo takes over from their own 39-yard line. Kofler again, the quarterback, out of the shotgun. He's got a receiver down the right side. It is tipped away on an excellent defensive play by Lionel Washington, intended for the speedster Mitchell Brookins.
Lionel Washington is turning into a very good defensive back. Anytime you lead the league, well, you're second in the league in interceptions, and you come back and get 2 in the second game of the regular season, you're developing. You're turning into a good pro.
Kansas City out in front of Cincinnati, 24-19, a safety. So Cincinnati got caught in the end zone, and Casey out in front, 24-19. The deceptive thing about Lionel Washington, the quarterback will throw, think his receiver is open, but he forgets about Lionel's closing speed.
That's right.
7:13 to go in the ball game. 2nd and 10 from the 39-yard line. Kofler again. He's got company, gets hit, gets the ball away, but not enough for a first down. As the receiver Franklin is slammed out by Lionel Washington. I think David Galloway got Kofler at the end of that play. There is Byron Franklin.
It's a good move Franklin put on the receiver, on the defensive back to get open. But then Washington just comes over and does a little muscle on him and throws him right out on the sideline.
You scared me there for a while.
What's that? Yeah. I like hits like that.
Yes, I know you do. But I thought your description was going to be a bit too descriptive.
No.
3rd and 6 from the 43-yard line. Let's see what Kofler does here. I thought he had a screen, but Galloway was trailing a screen man. Now he throws it downfield. That was not going to be a legal catch because the receiver went out of bounds. Even if he had caught it, there would have been no catch because the receiver had been forced out of bounds.
You can't go out of bounds and come back in and get the ball. Once you're out of bounds, it's over.
Let's see what happens here.
Okay. Franklin's watching. The quarterback's waving him on down. He's out. See him step out right back there? That means he's a dead receiver right there.
You saw the official's hat come off to mark the spot he stepped out. And in professional football, once you step out, you cannot come back in and catch the football unless an eligible receiver touches it before you do.
That's right.
John Kidd now will punt it again to stop Mitchell with 6:55 to go. Almost blocked, but he gets it away. Mitchell's going to run with this one. That is 22. Ducking and dodging out to about his 33-yard line. Well, the races for the pennant are far from over, as you know, and NBC Sports will take you right down to the wire. Join us next Saturday when the American tradition continues with Major League Baseball's Game of the Week on NBC Sports. Baseball's schedule features the Cubs and the Mets, the White Sox and the Angels, plus Detroit and Toronto. We'll be watching the pennant standings to determine the most crucial games to bring to you next week. And in the pregame, Jody Davis of the Cubs will take on Mike Schmidt of the Phillies in the Gatorade Super Slam Home Run Contest. Next Saturday, beginning at 3 p.m. Eastern on NBC Sports, the home of the 1984 World Series. 1st and 10 for the Cardinals from their own 33-yard line. McIver gives to stop Mitchell. Room to run. First down. And more. Up near the 48-yard line goes Stop Mitchell. Charles Romes makes the tackle. Cardinals have a pretty good 1-2 combination. There's Joe Ferguson, who was hit earlier on a sack by Bubba Baker, a suspected